Yellow Jacket Hockey is on the air from Westman Arena on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where tonight the Yellow Jackets are going to try to make it 6 wins in a row as they play host to the Sabres from Marian University. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. I am John Garver, and the Yellow Jackets have found the winning recipe of late, having won the last 2 games of 2025 and then inching themselves into the win column in the first 3 games of 2026. 5 consecutive victories. That is the longest win streak of this season, and they will be looking to make it an even half dozen tonight as they close out the non-conference portion of their schedule. Marian, meanwhile, they come in. They had a bit of a tough go this year as they started the season with going 0-6-1 before they won their first game on November the 22nd. Since that time, they are, quick math tells me, 3-4 overall, so they have done a little bit better job here of late, and definitely are not going to be the exact same team that the Yellow Jackets saw back in the season opener. Should be a good one here on this Wednesday evening, the final non-conference game of the year, and then after this, the rubber hits the road as the Yellow Jackets jump headlong into WIAC play. A lot more to come on the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. As always, we'll talk to Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. We will catch up with junior forward Daniel Roosevelt. We'll have a peek at the starting lineups, and when we come back, we will take a look at the last time out for the Yellow Jackets and take a little bit of a look at a deeper look at this Marian schedule as well. All that and more when the pregame show continues right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Last Saturday night, the Yellow Jackets were on the road at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center in St. Cloud, and they came away with a 2-1 victory over the Johnnies in what was a really well-played hockey game between 2 clubs that are very, very close. St. John's second place in the MIAC, and will be in the thick of things for the conference championship as well as the automatic qualifier into the NCAA tournament, and they went toe-to-toe with the Yellow Jackets throughout. Yellow Jackets opened the scoring at 7:49 of the second period. Carson Riddle getting his 6th goal of the season from A.J. Reed, a short-handed marker, taking a centering pass from the left corner, and a shot from Riddle in the slot got through goaltender John Howe, and that gave the Jackets the 1-0 lead. The lead lasted exactly 27 seconds. At 8:16, St. John's tied at Jacob McPartland on the rush, got the puck probably about the bottom of the left circle, maybe a little bit higher in the slot, and was able to kind of redirect a shot, kind of flick the puck up over the shoulder of Jan Skorpik for his third, and it was 1-1 after 2. Then in the third period, teams going back and forth a little bit. Yellow Jackets getting a little more assertive offensively. Both goaltenders playing extremely well. Both team defenses playing extremely well throughout. Then the Jackets got the break they needed at 19:17, 43.5 seconds remaining on the clock. Jordan Gibbs starts the rush up the left wing, gets it to Chris Ishmael, who finds Daniel Roosevelt in the slot. And the Yellow Jackets' top goal scorer buries his 7th of the season to make the final score 2-1. Jan Skorpik got the victory and goal for the Yellow Jackets. He improved to 5-3-0. He made 32 saves in the game. Meanwhile, on the other side, Marian suffered a loss against Lawrence. The final score in that one was 4-2. Edison Weeks scoring just 2:15 in for Marian, but less than a minute later, Ethan Beaumont tied it for Lawrence. Then Cade DeWolf put the Vikings ahead for good in the final minute of the first period. Roman Cherniak and scoring in the second period for Lawrence. Carter Cloutier midway through the third made it a 4-1 game. Andrew Politoski scored late for Marian, but it wasn't enough, and the Vikings got the victory by a score of 4-2. Only game in the WIAC tonight is this one that you'll be watching or listening to between the Yellow Jackets and Marian. Then on the weekend around the WIAC, St. John's is at Eau Claire, St. Mary's is at Beloit, Gustavus is at UW Stout, Hamlin at Stevens Point, and St. Olaf is at River Falls in the final weekend of crossover play between the WIAC and the MIAC. And of course, the Yellow Jackets will be off this coming weekend and jump back into conference play next weekend on the road at River Falls. We're about 21 and a half minutes away from the start between the Yellow Jackets and Marian. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will have our conversation with Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back on the Yellow Jacket Hockey pregame show, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce. It's Wednesday night. The Yellow Jackets back home for the second Wednesday in a row, closing out the non-conference portion of the schedule, getting ready to host Marian. I am John Garber. We're joined by Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. And before we analyze too much, you probably don't know because you're not a numbers guy, but last Saturday, game number 250 for you behind the bench.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. And haven't been suspended for one of them, huh, Garbs? How about that? See? Survivor. Yeah, just super grateful. It's this is home, and it's been an awesome 9.5 years so far.
Suspended, no, but did get a game misconduct once, and we won't revisit that from year number one. But yeah, nonetheless, that game against St. John's, that was a good hockey game. Two really good, evenly matched teams going at it.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. It was a good weekend overall. It was kind of something that we circled that weekend, like coming back from break. A lot of hockey and not a lot of time. So hopefully we could carry that momentum. I think that momentum will help us here tonight. But no, St. John's is a good team. It's no surprise to me. They're in first. I think they're in first place and second place in the MIAC right now. Felt like that sheet was bigger than Marian when we were down in the first game of the year, but it was good. We did what we had to do. The one thing I'm most proud of is we stuck with it. We didn't try to make something happen, and when something was able to happen, we executed with 43 seconds left, so it was good.
1 goal allowed last Friday at Concordia, 1 goal allowed on Saturday at St. John's. Feels like for the first time since last year, you guys are defending the way you did when that was your team's calling card.
Yeah, and even Mouse and I went back in the tape last year, we actually didn't defend as well as we all thought. Winning hides a lot of things, and we had that puck luck and that good juju kind of going, so we never felt out of it. I would say this year we're probably defending maybe a little bit better. It's just, but we're not scoring as much, right? We're earning our goals. Not that we didn't earn them last year, but you take some of those 1-goal games and those overtimes and flip-flop them, you're talking 15 and 10, so we made some adjustments, like I said, and it's showing like it's working. So we'll take it. Probably gave up. We've been getting our shots against down drastically since the beginning of the year. Getting our shots up since the beginning of the year. We're defending the middle of the ice, I think, pretty well without just packing it in and playing like that and giving up a ton of ozone time. But it was building day by day, right?
I think even by his own admission, going back, you look at last year, and Dusty Bergstrom would say he probably wasn't at his best at all last year. Seems like he's back to where he was the year before, though. He's only been a minus player in 1 game, and he's been pretty impactful back there.
Yeah, and towards the end of the game, those 2 critical block shots against St. John's, Bergie's he's Mr. Reliable. Shoots the puck like a peewee, but plays like a man. This is awesome. I love him.
I want to make sure he doesn't hear that part of it, because he really doesn't want it, unless you've told him that you actually
all the time. Every week.
I want to talk a little bit about freshman Jordan Gibbs, too, because he started that game-winning goal in that final minute. What a big-time play he made to carry that puck out of the zone.
Gibby's growing every day. Every practice, he's in the beginning, it was okay, this kid's going to be really good. And then it's okay, the game's coming to him, it's working. And then all of a sudden, you see more and more of those types of difference-making plays. And they might be 1 or 2 in a game in the beginning of the year. Now it's 1 a period, if not 2 a period. It's happening consistently in practice. He's a pretty special player, in all honesty. I think Gibby, if the college hockey landscape didn't change, I don't think Gibby's really here if those guys are doing their job.
I want to talk about Cage Shea a little bit, too, because he's played all over the lineup. He's been in the middle. He's been on either wing. He's right now, if you look at the line chart, is playing the right side on your top line. He's another one who is quietly putting together a nice year, and you look at his numbers, he's topping your team in plus-minus.
Yeah, and that's Cage Shea. That's the guy. Last year, he was banged up all year, and what that kid had to go through to get ready for a game, once he actually did feel good, you knew there was something there. And he in all honesty, I think the best is yet to come for him. I don't even think he's scoring at the rate he can actually score at. He's a very smart, intelligent player.
Jan hadn't played in a month and gets a start last Saturday. He was fantastic.
Olympic sheet. He's going. That's it. It's not even a question. I don't even have to send who's starting in net for an Olympic sheet, it's going to be Jan.
Good philosophy, I guess, because that's what they play on over there, so he's definitely more accustomed to it than the other goaltenders. But all that being said, I asked you about big ice in the pregame last week, and you said the dots are the dots. How is it different for a goaltender?
I have no idea, because I'm the worst goalie coach of all time. You have one job and just make one more save than the other goalie. I think it's very simple. I don't understand why they overcomplicate it. So I don't know how it's different, but I don't know. I just rely on those guys to tell me what they need, and we do it.
Marian in here now tonight. Second time on the season seeing them. You had them in the season opener down in their place. It was a 7-0 win. They're not a team that you're going to beat 7-0 every single time you come out. Rough start for them. They've been able to right the ship a little bit here lately.
Yeah, I think, it was our first game of the year. We caught them after a very emotional first game, right? So it's kind of advantage us. We're a good skating team, so, that's good. We need that. And then they go, I think it's St. Norbert's and Adrian back-to-back. It's a gauntlet, and I think they got a couple more wins or whatever. They're a good team. I'm sorry. I played out east. I think the NPI's got it all wrong. In my own personal opinion, any one of us could schedule 23 give-me's. They're just not there. They're just not there out here in the West. And if we had a bigger pool, I don't think the national championship leaves the West for a couple of years. I mean, obviously you got Hobart, but I look at the strength of schedules, and there should be 10, 15 East teams, all West, and the rest of the East in terms of strength of schedule. I don't know. Those pencil pushers over there, I don't think really understand.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
Love you, guys.
That's Yellow Jacket head coach Rich McKenna. 10th season behind the bench, and as we mentioned in the beginning of the interview, Saturday was his 250th game as the Yellow Jacket head coach. 120 wins, 110 losses, and 20 ties. It's his all-time mark, and Clay Van Diest is the head coach for Marian University. He's in his 4th season, and if I do some math quickly here, bear with me, folks. 32 wins, 57 losses, and 5 ties, his all-time mark. Time now to look at the starting lineups in this one. First, for the Yellow Jackets, it's going to be Jan Skorpik getting the start and goal once again. A 6'1", 170-pound senior out of Czechia, making his 10th appearance on the season. He's 5-3. He's got a goals against average of 2.32 and a .919 save percentage. 1 shutout for him, and of course that shutout coming in the season opener against these same Sabres from Marian. Starting 5 in front of him tonight, the defense pair, Evan Axel and Dusty Bergstrom. The forward line, Chris Ishmael will have Cade Shea on the right wing and Daniel Roosevelt on the left. Other forward lines for the Yellow Jackets this evening. Carson Riddle will center Blake Setter on the right wing and Justin Dauphiné on the left. Alexei Yermolnik will have Austin Paul on the right wing and Nikki Kagawa on the left. And Andrew Larson will have Zach Lucier on the right wing and Elliot Mickish on the left wing, the freshman out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, with roots going up into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. He is making his collegiate debut tonight. A long road back for him after an off-season injury and the grueling rehabilitation and everything. He is finally back in the lineup and made his debut. He got the hot lap, too, that the NHL rookies always get in their first game. He got the hot lap tonight, so good to see number 13 making his season debut. Other defense pairs tonight. Tyler Ryder is with Jordan Gibbs. Sam Brennan is with Matthew Danziger. The extra skater is Logan Herbner. And the backup goaltenders tonight for the Yellow Jackets, Kobe Grant and Jack Boschert. On the other side, for Marian, getting the start in goal tonight will be Tyler Frumholz, a 6'2", 175-pound sophomore from Waupun, Wisconsin, making his 6th appearance on the year. He's 0-2. Has a 5.43 goals against average and 809 save percentage. He was the goaltender that the Yellow Jackets saw in the season opener earlier this year. So a bit of a tough goal for him so far this year. We'll see what he's able to come back with here throughout the evening. Starting 5 in front of him, the defense pair, Brady Brenner and Lucas Jeffries, and the forward line, Robert Pizzi, centering Daxton Lang and Edison Weeks. And those are your starting lineups for this contest between the Yellow Jackets and Marian. We are about 7.5 minutes away from the start of this one at Westman Arena. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back on the Yellow Jacket Hockey Pregame Show, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce, we will have my conversation with Yellow Jacket junior forward Daniel Roosevelt. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network.
Daniel, Saturday game-winning goal, 43.5 seconds left. Really good hockey game between two really even teams, I thought. Take us through that last play that won the game.
Yeah, I saw Gibby rushing the puck up the left side. They kind of got caught in a weird change. Got it in. Gibby made a great play to Ish. Ish had some great patience, and I kind of just sat on the side of the net and had to tap in. Goalie almost saved it, but trickled in, so pumped about that.
From where I was, I couldn't tell. I was trying to watch reactions because you're so far away in that building, and there's no goal judges there, so I was trying to watch reactions, and I thought their goalie actually got it until I saw the celebration. But you talked about Jordan Gibbs and the play that he made there. That was a big-time play by a freshman defenseman.
Oh, yeah, big time. He's been great for us, too, all year. He had an injury at the beginning of the year, but ever since then he's been rock solid and producing great for us, so offensively and defensively.
How has this year been a little bit different? Because last year you spent the entire season with Dauphiné and Stark, and the three of you had a real chemistry. This year been a little bit different. You've had different line mates, so talk about how it has been different for you.
I think just focusing on myself, my game, kind of knowing what I can bring to the table and trying to make everyone around me better. I've been playing with some great guys. Everyone on our team's great. Me and Ish found some great chemistry too. I think it's coming from like off the ice. Spent a lot of time together, so it's helping us on the ice too.
The goal you scored on Saturday, that snaps a 6-game goal drought. And I was doing a little bit of digging. In those 6 games, only 4 shots on goal. So what changed? What part of the game changed a little bit where you weren't taking the same number of shots that you had been earlier? And if you don't have an answer, that's okay.
I don't know. I think I know that was my only shot on net and went in. So shooting 100% in that game. So yeah, definitely got to get back to shooting the puck a little bit more. my mom's been texting me to shoot the puck. So hopefully, get a couple more shots on net today, and hopefully we'll see another one going.
I think that's probably a mandate for the whole team, though, too, right? Because at the beginning of the year, it seemed like you guys were, as a group, passing up some of those shots, passing up those opportunities. The whole group now kind of need to shoot the puck a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't score without shooting the puck. So the more shots we get, the better chance we get of scoring more goals and better chance of victory.
Marian tonight now, last non-conference game of the year before things really get real next weekend on the road trip. But this is a team you guys saw to open the season, a 7-0 victory. How do you push that out of your head? Because it'd be awfully easy to think that this is going to be a walk when you know it isn't.
Oh, I mean, they're for sure coming in here. They have that on their mind. And I don't think we definitely have it a little bit, but kind of fresh slate, second half of the year, moving forward. And I don't know, I think we've kind of done a really good job of resetting after a couple big losses earlier on in the year, but just kind of one step at a time, getting ready to go.
One more and I'll let you go here. You've been on the power play now all season long, and that's a unit that's kind of been up and down. So for you and that group to have success, what do you guys need to do?
Definitely moving the puck fast. I think we do a lot of good movement of the puck, but sometimes we get a little stagnant where we don't move our feet. So a little bit more movement, getting pucks on net, and then just talking. I think communication is a big part of that. So hopefully we'll see another one going tonight.
That is junior forward Daniel Roosevelt, top goal scorer for the Yellow Jackets so far this season with 7 through the first 16 contests. After tonight, this is the end of the non-conference season, and after that, it is all conference play from here on out. Yellow Jackets and Marian meeting for the second time this season. First time on November 1st, a 7-0 victory in the season opener for the Yellow Jackets. The all-time series is dead even. Each team has won 6, and there's 3 tie games in there. The Yellow Jackets won the first 3 games that were ever played between these two schools. And they've won the last 3. So the middle of it was owned by Marian in more ways than one. They dominated the Yellow Jackets in some of those games over the years, and especially in the Superior Showdown. Don't bring that up to Coach McKenna. Still a sore spot for him. Jan Skorpic will defend the goal. 2 hour left here in this opening 20 minutes. The Yellow Jackets in the home gold jerseys with the black and white trim will be going left to right here across your radio dial, computer screen, or whatever device you are taking the game in on. Chris Ishmael steps in to take the face-off, and we are underway from Westman Arena. The opening face-off sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, Northern Wisconsin's Island Getaway. The Sabres win the draw. They will play that down into the Yellow Jacket zone. It comes up to the right point for Lucas Jeffries. He'll dump it back behind the Yellow Jacket net. Dusty Bergstrom gets control for the Yellow Jackets here, carries the center, moves it ahead. Roosevelt for Ishmael, back to Roosevelt, left wing, throws that one in front for Cade Shea going to the net. That pass just a little bit behind him. Now Brady Brenner has it for Marian. His neutral zone pass picked off. Roosevelt back the other way, loses his footing. They were going to call the offside there, but decided not to. Yellow Jackets will change. Looks like Marian will follow suit. Politoski's got it now. He'll start up the left wing with it here for Marian. He'll cross the red line and dump it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Getting there first, Tyler Ryder around the right wing for Shea. He'll take it on the backhand and clear it out into the neutral zone where Marian will regain control. Noah Pickard backing it up for Politoski. Now ahead on the left wing, Raudio sends it ahead. A quick shot taken from the left circle by Dane Tews is going to be stopped by Jan Skorpic. Then blowing a tire behind the net, Jordan Gibbs, but is able to wrap that one back around. From the left wing, Dauphiné sends it rink wide on the right for Setter. Now back for Ryder. Ryder gets the red and sends it in. Out of his net, Frummels for Marian. Wraps that one around on the right wing. It's knocked down there by Justin Dauphiné. Puck connected in the right wing corner. Setter's got it there. He's taken into the boards. In to help out Dauphiné up top for Danziger. He plays it in the slot. A quick shot by Setter in the right circle. And a save made by Frummels. Now Dauphiné behind the net, works it out front. Puts it right through the goal mouth. And unable to get a stick on it there was Carson Riddle. Now it comes around behind the Marian goal. Danziger on the right wing side. Slowly pushes it back down behind the net. Pickard's going to get it there for the Sabres, and he'll flip it out into the neutral zone. Sam Brennan knocks it down for the Yellow Jackets and starts it back ahead on the right wing. Kagawa. He gets knocked down as he carried up the right wing boards. Marchaliti gets it here for Marian, and he'll pass it ahead. Brendan Bottom on the right wing gets it out into the neutral zone. Across the Yellow Jacket line, Flint with a shot from the top of the left circle. Glove save made by Jan Skorpik. He's going to hang on, and we're going to get a face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone. 17:40 to play here in this opening period. Yellow Jackets and Marian scoreless from Westman Arena in Superior. John Garver with you here on this Wednesday evening. As we mentioned, final non-conference game of the 25-26 campaign. Behind his own goal, Evan Axel. Pressured there by Bottom. Now Bergstrom has it, gives it to Austin Paul, right wing, rink-wide feed for Axel on the left. He tips it into the Marian zone and gives chase. Behind the net, it's controlled by Jansen. Jansen pestered there by Kagawa. Now to Bottom on the right wing. His pass picked off. Check that, almost. As Austin Paul stepped into the passing lane and took it away, but unable to settle it all down. Marian back the other way. Now the Jackets regaining control. Dusty Bergstrom puts that one ahead just out of the reach of Elliot Mickish. Now it's going to be sent back down into the Marian zone. Frummel's out. Plays it to the left wing. Brenner pushes it to the middle. Onto the left wing for Seminara, and he dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. It comes loose behind the Jacket net now, where Tyler Ryder picks it up. Ryder sends that one around on the left wing. Mickish chips that to neutral ice. And we're going to get a stoppage in play as Marian is going to be whistled for the offside. Mentioned it a little bit in the pregame show. Collegiate debut for Elliot Mickish tonight. The long road back from the injury he suffered while training during the offseason. Cost him 2/3 of his freshman year. His bloodlines run deep in the sport. His father, Patrick, currently the head coach in the ECHL in Toledo, a collegiate standout at Michigan Tech. Uncle Jeff played at Michigan Tech. Uncle Scott played here in Superior. He was also my coach in junior. You're going all the way up to his grandfather, who played collegiately at Michigan Tech and I believe won a national championship there. Puck dumped into the Yellow Jacket zone. It comes behind the net where Pizzi picks it up for Marian. He'll retreat to the right wing corner. That one's broken up momentarily by Ryder. Now Weeks on the right wing, puts it behind the Yellow Jacket net. Gibbs picks it up, and he'll clear it to neutral ice for the Yellow Jackets. Ishmael had it for a moment. Now Weeks gets it back for Marian. He passes it into the slot. Norman turns and fires, and that one just misses wide. Gibbs pushes it up the right wing. That's not going to leave the zone. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, Ryder takes a bump. Gibbs tries to get through a check, but then he gets pinned to the goal. Puck is picked up here by Ryder, and he'll weave to the middle now. Ahead on the right wing. Cade Shea dumps it into the Marian zone. Clearing attempt on the right wing, knocked down by Shea. Roosevelt right corner, sidesteps the check, gives it back to Shea, who worked his way in front, then couldn't get a stick on it. Shea eventually does get it, plays it up to the left point, but Brennan is a right-hand shot, and it went where optimally would be good to be a left-hand shot. Jackets dump it back into the Marian zone. 15.5 to go first period. No score from Westman Arena in Superior. Setter tried to move it to the front of the net. The pass is blocked. Now Dauphiné gets the loose puck and sends it deep. Pickard for Marian, wraps it around on the left wing. Dane Tews has it there. He gets it to neutral ice. Politoski leading the rush, takes a chop there. You could hear the stick from Blake Setter hitting the stick of defenseman Politoski. Now on the left wing, Dauphiné sends it ahead at center. Setter, he's one-on-one across the Marian line. Setter on the left wing, takes it deep, circles behind the net. Has it right wing corner, up top. Axel right point, Bergstrom left point. Wrist shot's going to miss wide. Setter regains control on the right wing side and pushes back behind the net. Kind of a bad route to the puck by Dauphiné there. And Marian will clear. Setter regains control and dumps it back into the Marian zone. Frummel's again wraps that one around the boards on the left wing. This is Jansen for Marian. He'll throw that one ahead. It comes down into the Yellow Jacket zone. Skorpik set it up to the left of the net, but there was nobody there for the Jackets to pick it up. Marian eventually will regain control here now in the right wing corner. Caden Carlson drives it toward the side of the net where it hits the side of the goal. Now the Jackets get it back. Riddle's pass goes between the skates of Vicky Kagawa and comes back to neutral ice. Marian will have it once again. Inside the Yellow Jacket blue line, Axel backs it up, wraps it around off the end boards. Gibbs unable to handle that one, and the Sabres get it back. Now Bottom has it, left circle. He mishandles, and Austin Paul will come away with it here and start the Jackets back to center. Paul up the left wing, backhands that into the Marian zone. Brenner taken into the end boards by Kagawa. The centering attempt by Yarmalnik doesn't connect. Puck comes back behind the Marian goal once again. They feed it ahead on the right wing for Norman. Norman's headman pass broken up by Kagawa. Yellow Jackets will regroup. Now Ryder ahead on the right wing for Paul. He'll back it up for Gibbs. Quickly up the middle, Kagawa to the right wing. Yarmalnik across the Marian line. His pass for Kagawa is just out of his reach. Yarmalnik and Kagawa battle for the puck. Right wing boards in the Marian zone. Puck is worked loose, comes back behind the Marian goal over to the left wing corner now where Logan Herbner pursues. Had it for a moment, but the Sabres come away with it here, and it's going to be passed ahead on the left wing. Now rink-wide feed on the right across the Yellow Jacket line. This is Norman. Owen Norman circles it back. Feeds Politoski coming down the slot. That shot blocked by the Yellow Jackets, but they can't clear the zone. In the right wing corner, coming away with it there, Danziger. He sends it to the line where Pickard holds the zone and drives it down low. On the right wing boards, Brennan ahead. Herbner backhands that down into the Marian zone. Out of his goal, Frumholz wraps that around the left wing, and it comes all the way back to center for Weeks. Edison Weeks dishes it off for Pizzi left side to Weeks. Going to the net, and the redirection misses just wide. Nice little give and go there by the Sabres driving the Yellow Jacket net. Now Bergstrom in front of his own goal, makes a pass ahead. Wanted Cade Shea, but he wasn't quite ready for that, and it's going to come all the way down. And that's going to result in icing here on the Yellow Jackets. Shots 3-1 Marian at this point with 12:11 to play in the first period. A lot of flow early on here. This is only the fourth face-off through the first 7+ minutes. Marian has had the better of the play so far. At center for the Yellow Jackets. Larson gets across the red line. Tried to poke that one past the defense, but it was broken up and sent back into Yellow Jacket territory now where Evan Axel's got it. Axel over to Bergstrom left side. Little stick fake there before moving it ahead for Roosevelt. Now for Cade Shea. Across the red line, Shea dumps it to the Marian zone, right wing corner. Shea's going to pick it up. Quickly feeds Gibbs, right point. One-timer gets through. Frumholz the save. Rebound. Pinballs around in the goal crease. Before Frumholz was able to squeeze the pads and keep that one from sneaking through. Face-off coming here in the Marian zone. Gibbs at the right point got all of that one-timer. Had traffic in front and everything. Frumholz making a good save. Caden Carlson back the other way here for Marian. Jackets break that one up, and Roosevelt on the left wing sends it back into the Marian zone. Brenner from behind his net to Caden Carlson on the left wing. Rink-wide feed on the right out of the reach of Flint. And Tyler Ryder gets it back for the Yellow Jackets. Goes off the boards up the middle to Ishmael. Now he springs Shea on the breakaway. Cade Shea one-on-one with the goaltender, but a really nice defensive play on the back check by Brady Brenner, taking away a golden opportunity for the Yellow Jackets senior forward. Marian sends it back the other way, and that's going to be icing on the Sabres. Good feed by Chris Ishmael to poke that one behind the defense and spring Shea. End of the shift, so he didn't necessarily have a full tank of gas there. But a really good job by Brenner with the back pressure to prevent a point-blank opportunity for Cade Shea. Jackets win the face-off. Setter has it in the left corner. Jeffries takes him into the wall. Now bottom on the right wing. Clears that to the neutral zone. Brennan knocks it down, and he'll drive it back in as the Jackets tag up. Frumholz out of the net. Over for Pickard. His pass picked off. Riddle tried to center. That's going to get intercepted, and Marian will come back the other way with Nolan Flint. He goes to drop that one back. Didn't quite work the way they wanted it to, so Marian will redo it again here with Pickard being pressured by Setter. Clearing attempt hits the linesman and drops right out of the tape of Norman for Marian, and he'll send it rink wide before that one gets tipped. He'll go over the glass and into the spectator area here at Westman Arena. And we'll get a face-off here in the... They're going to take that into the Yellow Jacket zone. They are. Face-off will be to Jan Skorpik's right. It's controlled by Marian. It comes up to Politoski at the point. He mishandles. Then Paul tried to get away and got tripped up, but he keeps going anyway. Tried to move it into the middle now for Kagawa, but it doesn't go. Yarmalnik tried to center from the right corner. That's intercepted by Pickert. He's pressured there and turns it over. High slot Kagawa turns it. Fires! Oh, hit the goalpost! Thought for sure that one got through. Well, it did get through. It was behind Frumels, but it hits the post. In a little bit too tight to get the rebound. Austin Paul, Iki Kagawa inches away from his second goal of the his first goal of the campaign, excuse me. Instead, a whole lot of nothing and a face-off coming here in the Marian zone. Marchaliti for Marian, circles his net. Delivers it to Lang on the right wing. Jackets break it up at center now, and up the left side, Yarmalnik. Pizzi knocks him off the puck, and Marchaliti sends it back the other way. Weeks on the left wing, crosses the Yellow Jacket line, left circle, drops it into the slot. The shot deflected by the defense and goes over the top of the goal. And now Bergstrom will flip that ahead to center. Bouncing puck, knocked down at the line. Good hand-eye by Pizzi to knock that out of the air, and it comes back the other way. Lang from the right circle takes a shot that misses high, and the Yellow Jackets clear it out into the neutral zone. Brenner dumps it back in. Bergstrom for the Jackets has it here. Starts it ahead. Dropping it off now for Evan Axel. Axel cuts over to the left wing and sends it up the wing for Lucier, but he was in a step ahead of the play. Yeah, the Yellow Jackets are going to be whistled for the offside. If you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets, then tune in to Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join the big sound Matt Johnson and me throughout the year as we sit down with Yellow Jacket student-athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available at uwsyellowjackets.com/podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. And we will be recording the latest episode tomorrow. It'll drop next Monday. It'll feature head men's basketball coach Greg Polkowski. Already in our 7th year of Eye of the Swarm. Over 100 episodes and haven't canceled us yet. I'm glad the video experiment of it is over. And we are back to just an audio podcast that we record every couple weeks at KUWS. So look for that on Monday, the latest episode. I believe episode 111 is what it'll be. Excuse me. Politoski backs it up for Marian to Pickert. Now a rink-wide feed for twos on the left wing. Jackets break that up, and Herbner sends it in. Lucier chases it down in the right wing corner. Backs it up on the half-board. Larson. His pass gets blocked. Marian clears. Ryder intercepts just outside the Marian blue line and flips a backhand in behind the Marian goal. Politoski there wraps it around and hops by Herbner on the right wing. Broken up by Lucier. Now Larson down low out front for Herbner. That pass just behind him, and Marian back the other way. Cole Carlson with speed. Crosses the Yellow Jacket line. Left circle, a wrister sticked away by Skorpik. Behind the goal now, Gibbs up the right wing. Herbner back for Gibbs. Pass is intercepted. Jackets able to break it up, and Herbner will chip it back out into the neutral zone. Brenner at his own line for Radio. Now into the slot. Brenner's shot deflected. Is going to miss wide of the Yellow Jacket goal. Gibbs has it for the Jackets. Gives it behind his own net. Ryder up the left wing for Roosevelt. He'll stick handle his way to the middle. Over for Gibbs' right wing. He goes to dump it in. It hits the linesman. Jackets will get control back in the center face-off circle, and it'll be flipped in by Gibbs. If you tuned into the pregame show, you heard Daniel Roosevelt say his mom has been texting him saying to shoot the puck more, so glad Mama Roosevelt and I are on the same page there. In the neutral zone, Marian regains control, and they dump it in. Brennan will chase it down. He mishandles the puck, left wing corner. Flint comes away with it here for the Sabres. Drops it off for Bottom. Now Jansen from the left wing. His shot deflected, and that'll go off the outside of the goal. Battling forward here, Danziger. Wanted to go up the right wing, and it was taken away from him. Jansen at the left point sends it deep. It comes around behind the Yellow Jacket net. Puck is in the right wing corner. It's centered. Jackets able to break that one up. Ishmael tried to poke it out to neutral ice and does. Marian regaining control. They'll quickly dump it back in. So the top line for the Yellow Jackets spent that shift hemmed in their own zone. Axel's got it behind his net. Comes out the right side and picks up speed. Axel up over the red line into the Marian zone. Carries to the right corner. Cycles down low. Behind the net, it's Dauphiné here. Dauphiné leaving it for Setter. Setter works it to the front of the goal, but it's poked away from him. Pickert has it now. He passes it over to the left wing. Setter there to knock it down, and he'll chip it to the corner for Dauphiné. Now Riddle up top, left point. Bergstrom walks, fires. Save made by Frummels. Rebound to the left wing corner. Bergstrom didn't realize the pass was coming to him, and it got behind him and came to the right wing side. Babiak's got it there, and it's going to come out to neutral. Jackets regaining control here with Dauphiné right wing. He gets hit in the neutral zone, but gets it to Setter. Across the line, his shot's going to be deflected. The puck ricochets to the left wing corner. Now it comes up on the left wing. Babiak tips it ahead. This is Pizzi. Robert Pizzi for Marian. Dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Right corner. Ryder getting there first. Sends it around the boards, and on the right wing, it's Paul. Austin Paul for the Yellow Jackets. Back behind his goal now for Ryder. Up the left wing for Riddle. Pass behind him. Icing already waved off, so the Jackets will change personnel here. Lucas Jeffries coming from behind his net. Throws that one up the left wing. That will be icing. And it'll bring the face-off back in Marian territory. Excuse me. The face-off will be to the right of Frummels, and it's controlled by Marian. Jeffries to clear. Brennan gets up there and gloves it down. He's got it left circle. Some smooth stick handling. Then the pass behind the net intercepted. And it's going to be cleared out by Weeks. On the right wing, Austin Paul ahead for Kagawa. Kagawa right half board. Carries it back up into the high slot. Feeds Brennan left point. He changes direction, works it to his right. Kagawa right half board now. Carries into the high slot. All the way over to the left wing side. Kagawa still has it. Puts a shot in from a sharp angle. A save made by Frummels. Kagawa's get it back. Takes the shot from the right circle. Frummels makes the save on that. Now Kagawa tipped it to the left post looking for Austin Paul, but that's intercepted. Marian back the other way with Pizzi. Gives it to Edison Weeks on the left wing boards. He'll carry down to the corner. Brennan bumps him on the play. Puck comes up to Jansen on the left wing. He works his way down the boards, passes it behind the Yellow Jacket net to the right wing corner where Danziger gets there first. Working it free Yarmulnik, and he absolutely pitchforked that one from the corner. Way up over the glass and out of play. You see coaches ducking for cover. I think that one went over the bench. So the face-off will be to Skorpik's left with 4:22 to play here in this opening period. Yellow Jackets and Marian scoreless. Alexei Yarmulnik in to take the face-off. He wins it. Brennan gives behind the net now for Danziger. He'll clear that to center. Kagawa tried to chip that one past the defense, but Marcelliti broke it up. Norman back across the Yellow Jacket line. Feeds that rink wide, and they score. Norman from the left wing sent a pass all the way across to the right side. It came off the boards, and Cole Carlson just ripped a one-timer that got between the pads of Jan Skorpik. And Marian has jumped in front. Fourth of the year for Cole Carlson. Norman will get one of the assists. Marcelliti, I believe, should get the other. 15:53, the time of the goal. And Marian has moved in front. Jackets win the face-off and send it into the Marian zone. Comes around to the right wing side. In the corner, Setter up top. Riddle takes the shot, and that one stopped by Frummels.
And at the 15:53 mark was number 7, Cole Carlson. He got an assist from number 24, Owen Norman. And number 91, Emil Rotillo.
So Raudio getting the other assist on that goal. 15:53 the time, and it is 1-0 Marian. 3:49 to go here in the first. On the right wing boards in the Marian zone, Dauphiné comes out with it. It's poke checked off his stick. Puck will be flipped up in the air and down into the Yellow Jacket zone. Axel giving chase. They close on him quickly, and Flint pushes it down left wing corner. Caden Carlson behind the net loses the puck. Now Bergstrom's got it for the Jackets here, and he'll go off the right wing glass and out. Icing waved off. Politoski chasing it down. Setter pursuing him. Now Bottom's got it. He'll leave it for Pickert. Noah Pickert behind his net here for Marian. Ahead for Caden Carlson, left wing. His pass intercepted. Jackets back the other way quickly. Up the right side, this is Dauphiné. Dauphiné carried toward the net, but he was knocked off the play as Lane Jansen stepped into him and knocked him off the puck. Now a defenseman falling down, but Jansen able to pick up the loose puck, and he'll clear that back into the neutral zone. End of the shift for the Yellow Jacket forward line, so they didn't have a whole lot of giddy up left there. And on the right side, Setter dumps it in. Jansen for Marian, for Seminara on the left wing, and he'll send it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Brennan behind the goal, wraps that one around. It's not going to go. Larson behind his net, wraps it around. Mickish on the left wing. Tied up along the wall, and we get a whistle here. And the first penalty of the hockey game is coming, and I believe it's going to be on Seminara. Yep, it's going to be him for Marian going to the box, so the Yellow Jackets are heading to the power play. Time of the penalty, 17:35. Checking from behind on Seminara. Putting the Yellow Jackets at the man advantage. Coming into the game at 16.4% on the power play, but that's a little bit misleading as they have struggled with the man advantage here of late. This power play is, they're 0 for their last 11 coming into the game. Power play sponsored by Superior Water, Light and Power. Clean, reliable, Superior. Roosevelt behind the net. Ishmael right half board, up top, Ryder. Now Kagawa left circle, tried to go back to the right side, looking for Ishmael, but that's picked off. And it'll be sent all the way back down the ice. Yellow Jackets will be forced to regroup as we dip below 2 minutes remaining here in this opening period. 1-0 Marian leads. Ishmael up the left wing into the Marian zone. Sends it deep and gives chase. Cole Carlson there first. He goes to clear. Ryder holds it in at the right point. Now to Roosevelt left wing side. Roosevelt over for Kagawa. Right circle, and the one-timer doesn't go. I think the defenseman might have got a stick on that. Sabres will clear. Ryder catches up to it now and sends it ahead. Kagawa on the right wing. Behind the back pass for Roosevelt. Tries to drive the net and falls down. Jansen picks it up, and he gets enough on that to clear it out into the neutral zone. Yellow Jackets will regroup with under a minute to go here in the power play. Minute 20 to go here, first period. Marian leading 1-0. Dauphiné stick handles into the Marian zone. Comes behind the net, right corner, feeds it up top. Bergstrom back for Dauphiné. Into the right corner, this is Riddle. Back up top, Bergstrom, stick handles, Riddle, right circle, down low, Dauphiné off the right post, but he couldn't handle the pass. Now Bergstrom, over for Gibbs in the left circle, the one-timer, and the save is made by Frummels. Now in the left corner, Gibbs up top, Bergstrom walks it, gives it to Riddle in the right circle. He walks, he shoots, it's blocked, he stays with it and pokes the rebound wide. Now he sends that up to the line at the left point, Bergstrom. For Riddle left side. Back up top for Bergstrom. Into the right circle. Dauphiné takes it to the slot and fires. It's blocked. He stays with it. Takes the shot. Save made. Frummels. Rebound shot by Gibbs on the doorstep, and Frummels stops that as well. Puck to the left wing corner. Final seconds ticking off, but the Yellow Jacket power play at least saw some opportunities here. On the right side, this is Riddle with 20 seconds to go in the first period. Sends it over. Left side, Gibbs. Down low. Wanted Yarmolnik there, but that pass picked off. And Marian will come back with Seminara on the right wing. Went to dump that one in and put it up into the Yellow Jacket bench. So a neutral zone faceoff coming with 8.9 seconds to go on the clock. Good opportunities on that power play. Jordan Gibbs, I'm looking at you. A couple good ones there for number 2. Unfortunately, nothing to show for it. So Jackets 0 for 1 on the power play here. They win the faceoff and go forward, trying to split Roosevelt between the D, but it's broken up there and dumped back into Yellow Jacket territory. Axel along the end boards, ties it up. And the buzzer sounds, excuse me, bringing period number 1 to a conclusion. Not a bad period. I think for the Yellow Jackets, they hopefully will use that power play at the end, because their best opportunities in that first period came while they had the man advantage. Could maybe give them a little bit of something to springboard to in the second period. We do have Abby Hoffman rinkside here. So we're waiting it out to see who she's going to grab here at the end of the first period. She might have been trying to get Coach, but unfortunately I think Coach bolted off the bench very quickly. Chris Ishmael's the only one left, so I guess he's going to be the choice maybe. Looks like that's going to be the case, so we'll throw it rinkside, where Abby Hoffman has senior captain Chris Ishmael.
All right, Chris, you guys played Marian earlier this season, and you guys had a shutout 7-0. What are you seeing that's different from this game that you did earlier this season?
I really don't think it's anything that they're doing. It's us. We're not really playing our game here. Coming off this is our 4th game here in a couple of days. So we just need to get back to our game and get our boots moving.
Hey, what do you think that'll look like? What adjustments need to be made?
Just our F2. It has to be more present. He has to be there in battles, supporting the first guy in there, moving our feet, and just helping our D. I think we're doing a good job in the D zone. Just one unlucky goal there, but in the O zone, we just need to move our feet and get dirty.
Sounds good. Great. Good luck to you. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
That's senior forward.
Back to you, John.
Thank you very much, Abby. Senior forward Chris Ishmael, giving him a quick synopsis, and I think you probably talk to the coaching staff. They would absolutely agree. Let's get the feet moving a little bit more, especially in the O zone, and jump on them. And that's something we can talk about a little bit here during this intermission, because it is something that we saw going back to Game 1 when the teams met down in Fond du Lac. The Yellow Jacket forecheck was off the charts good that day, and the transition game was probably better than I'd ever seen. Those are a couple of things we haven't seen so far here in this one tonight. Marian has a 1-0 lead after 1 period of play. We'll take a timeout and come back with our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's our first intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. The Yellow Jackets trailing Marian 1-0. After 20 minutes of play on the season, when the Yellow Jackets are trailing after one, they are 1-3. And when the opponent scores first, they are 2-3-1 on the season. So it's a lot to read into there. I mean, not a huge deal to be down 1-0 after one period of play, but hopefully the Jackets can find a little bit of jump. I think you heard Chris Ishmael talk about it, how especially in the offensive zone, got to move their feet a little bit. And right before we went to the break, I mentioned in the season opener, it was the season opener, and that was our first game, and they played the night before, and it was an emotional game for them, and they had to fight back to get to a tie before they went to a shootout and everything. But all of that said, the Yellow Jacket forecheck in that game was off the charts good. F1 was getting in there almost before the D sometimes. F2 was always in the right place, and when they weren't and Marian was able to clear the zone, the Jackets did such a good job of standing at the red line basically and taking control of everything there and shoving the puck right back into the offensive zone. I talked about it many, many times during that broadcast, how the transition game for that team that night was so good that they just rammed that puck right into the offensive zone, and Marian didn't have an answer for any of it. And so far tonight, we haven't seen that. The Jackets don't have quite as much jump as they had. Granted, it's their fourth game in a week, so it's a little bit like the junior hockey model right now. They played 3 games in 4 days last week, had a couple days off, and now they're back at it. So, maybe a little bit of fatigue there coming out of the break. I don't know. But they just didn't have quite the same jump that we saw in the season opener for sure. But even here a little more recently, not necessarily the same hop for the Yellow Jackets. So power play was very good toward the end of the period. Had a couple really good opportunities in the final 30 seconds. Will that be what the building block for the Jackets here tonight, to be able to use that and build the momentum and carry that into the second period? I don't know. Only time will tell based on what we saw in period number 1. Marian got the only goal of the period at 15:52. Was the 4th of the season for Cole Carlson to make it 1-0. Owen Norman and Emil Radio had the assists, and it was interesting because Norman got the puck on the left wing and sent an absolute rocket of a pass across to the right side, and there was no way Carlson could handle it, but it came off the boards into the right circle, and he just played it off that bounce and one-timed it, and it got between the pads of Jan Skorpik and snuck into the nets. 4th of the year for Carlson, and that was the only goal of the period. Shots on goal in the first period favoring the Yellow Jackets, margin being 9-7. So pretty tight checking for the most part, and there weren't even a lot of blocked shots. Only 28 shots attempted. Jackets attempted 16, Marian attempted 12. So there wasn't a ton of offense, and it was one of those periods where just every inch of ice was contested and was kind of hard to get to. So hopefully, if they move their feet a little bit, like Ishmael said, Jackets can move their feet a little bit more. They're going to generate more opportunities in the offensive zone. Penalties in the game so far. Marian took the only penalty for 2 minutes. Yellow Jackets 0 for 1 on the power play. Did have one shot on goal on that power play. Missed it at a couple times and had one blocked in there as well. So that, again, hopefully would be the building block that will carry over into period number 2. 1-0. Marian's got the lead. We'll take a break and come back with more of our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. Westman Arena. It's our first intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. The Yellow Jackets trailing Marian 1-0. Programming note, our next Yellow Jacket men's hockey broadcast will come your way a week from Friday, the 23rd of January. As the Yellow Jackets take to the road, they'll be at Hunt Arena in River Falls, first of a 2-game series. 7:05 face-off, 6:30 the pregame show. And we mentioned this is the last non-conference game, so it's all WIAC games from here on out. Next weekend, they're off this coming weekend, so next weekend they'll be on the road at River Falls. They will come home the final weekend of January and host UW Eau Claire for 2. Then the following weekend they will remain at home and host UW Stout for 2 before closing the regular season on the road with 2 at UW Stevens Point. So it's a gauntlet in the WIAC, man. You got to run the gauntlet in a big way, and with the way that this season has unfolded so far, any one of the teams in this conference could find their way into the conference championship. It's absolutely insane to see how all 5 of these teams, and you could even include Beloit in there, even though they're in last place in the conference. But you look at the way the top of the standings and the middle of the standings have gone, any one of those teams could work their way into a championship game. You've kind of got some separation in the standings with Eau Claire and Stout, I think at 18 and 17 points respectively. I suppose I could just look at it because I had it in front of me a moment ago. But Eau Claire's got 18 points. Stout's got 17 points. The Yellow Jackets are sitting in third place with 12 points. So they're 5 points back of Stout, and they're 5 points ahead of Stevens Point. So they've got a little bit of breathing room in there. And River Falls has 6 points. Beloit has 3. It's a little bit different in the WIAC when you get to the postseason now, too, because gone are the opening round 2-game series. So rest in peace, mini-game. We hardly knew ye. And no longer does everybody make the postseason. It was the number 6 seed will not be in the playoff. Number 4 will host number 5 in a first-round game. The winner of that will go to number 1 later on that weekend. Well, 2 will host 3, and then you play down from there. And with how everything has shaken out thus far this season, I mean, every team in the conference has at least 3 losses. And it's kind of the death knell with the NCAA. And with how NPI and everything works, chances are the only team from the WIAC that's going to get into the NCAA tournament this year is going to be whoever wins that conference tournament. And who knows? I mean, last year, the Yellow Jackets were the 1 seed. They get knocked out by River Falls. Stevens Point was the 2 seed. They got knocked out by Eau Claire. And then Eau Claire ends up beating River Falls in the championship game. They were the 4th seed, and they were under 500. And they got into the NCAA tournament. So anything can happen in the WIAC come tournament time, and that's why all these games are so important, and all these points are so crucial. And hopefully the Yellow Jackets can keep stacking up wins here, which is exactly what they did a year ago. I mean, they got on a little bit of a run in December and January and worked their way up to the top of the standings and were able to raise a banner here at Westman Arena. Unfortunately, they got knocked out in the semifinals, but hopefully they can find a way to, once again, put a banner up in the rafters here with a conference championship. Our next sports broadcast on 91.3 KUWS tentatively is scheduled for Friday night. The Yellow Jacket women's hockey team will be hosting the number 1 team in the country, UW River Falls, a 7 o'clock face-off, 6:45 pregame show. It'll be a first of a 2-game series there. They'll play on Saturday afternoon down at Hunt Arena in River Falls. And then Saturday, we've got a basketball doubleheader from the Mertz. The Yellow Jacket women, a 3 o'clock tip against Martin Luther. The men will follow somewhere between 4:45 and 5:15, depending on how rapidly that first game is played. The big sound, Matt Johnson, will be on the call of that one, as both Yellow Jacket teams will look to bounce back from a rough Saturday at the Mertz last week. The women and men each falling to Bethany Lutheran. The women 1-1 in UMAC play, the men 0-2. Each one of the teams sitting with a record of 4-11 at this point in the campaign, and that's kind of it's deceiving because Talk about teams that played very rugged non-conference schedules this year. The Yellow Jacket basketball teams are those teams. Two very difficult schedules in non-conference play. Yellow Jackets back on the ice here to start period number 2. Jan Skorpic leading them through the door. On the other side, Tyler Frummels will lead Marian onto the ice. 6 saves for Jan Skorpic in the first period. At the other end, Tyler Frummels making 9 stops. Yellow Jackets will be defending. A goal to our right. Traveling right to left across your radio dial or your screen. It's the second period, so the long change is in play. Yellow Jackets will start the same way they opened the game. Ishmael, Roosevelt, and Shea up front. Axel and Bergstrom on the blue line. 5-on-5 hockey to start. A fresh 20 minutes on the clock. Marian with the 1-0 lead. Chris Ishmael in to take the face-off against Robert Pizzi as a pair of number 23s do battle. Pizzi won the opening face-off tonight. And he will do so again here to start the second period. Jeffries for Marian backs it up to Brenner in his own zone. Now ahead on the left wing. Edison Weeks doesn't get a stick on it, and it's going to result in an icing call just 10 seconds into period number 2. Marian has won 11 of the 17 faceoffs so far, and the Yellow Jackets, as we've said before, not a great faceoff team. They are under 50% on the campaign, have been all year long. Clearing attempt by Marian, held in right circle. Axel fires and scores! Evan Axel. Evan Axel intercepts the clearing attempt on the right wing boards, carries it into the circle, and whistles a shot over the shoulder of Frummels. Second of the season for number 21. That goal coming 17 seconds into this second period. Should be an unassisted marker, and we are tied. Absolute cannon of a wrister from Evan Axel, pulling the Yellow Jackets even. Pickert's got it now for Marian. Passes it ahead.
Yellow Jackets, his second goal of the season. Number 21, Evan Axel. He gets that goal unassisted.
Unassisted for Evan Axel, his second, and the Yellow Jackets draw even in the first minute of period number 2. Cole Carlson on the left wing for Marian, couldn't handle the pass. Jackets quickly coming back on the attack. Setter moves it ahead for Justin Dauphiné. He sidesteps a check. Dauphiné left corner, tried to center for Riddle, but that doesn't go. Now in the right corner, Riddle up top. Right point, Brennan takes the shot. It's tipped just wide. Cole Carlson on the right wing, regaining control for Marian, and he'll back it up behind his net. Politoski over to the right wing. Pickert throws that one ahead. Raudio has it on the right wing, crosses the Yellow Jacket line. Riddle poke checks it off his stick, and that comes back to neutral ice. At center now, Jansen mishandles. Able to get a stick back on it. He pokes it in. Danziger there first for the Jackets. Backhands that up the left wing, and Kagawa tips it ahead. Yarmolnik now into the Marian zone. Has it poked off his stick. He stays with it. Yarmolnik sends it behind the goal. Austin Paul on the right wing boards. Sends it back deep. Kagawa giving chase. It's taken away from him by Marcellini. Now a turnover. Paul from the right circle. A shot, and he misses high and wide. So Marian a little haphazard in their own zone here in the early going of the second period. Cost them on one. Nearly cost them there. Kagawa comes across the Marian line. Loses the handle on that. It's cleared back to the neutral zone. Evan Axel for the Jackets ahead for Yarmolnik. Then he gets tied up. Jansen's got it for Marian. Then he turns it over in the high slot. Austin Paul. Dusty Bergstrom left circle. Back to Paul going to the net. That was Yarmolnik, and he falls down. Doesn't get the shot away. Paul on the left wing boards for Yarmolnik. He carries up the wall, then cycles it back down low. Kagawa Kagawa tried to shift his way around but couldn't. Now Paul's got it on the left half board. Turns and takes a long shot. That's going to go off the glove of Quinn Mulder. And he'll circle his net and start back the other way for Marian. His new pass in the neutral zone picked off. Jackets dodge a too many men on the ice penalty there as Zach Lucier got on the ice a little bit too early. And now Marian had an opportunity for a 3-on-2, but they had a bad line change and ended up having just to dump the puck in the Yellow Jacket zone. On the left side, Larson for Lucier, and he's going to chop that out to center. Mickish on the right wing. Pokes it down into the right corner and gives chase. Now into the left wing corner. It goes back behind the net to the right side. Seminara's pass over for Brenner on the right wing. He crosses the red line and carries into the Yellow Jacket zone. Sends it down to the right wing corner. Ryder gets there first, sidesteps the check and moves it up the left wing for Mickish. 3-on-2 at center. Mickish up the left wing. Comes across the Marian line. Takes a shot that gets blocked. Now Larson's got it in the left corner. Up top to the left point for Ryder. He takes a shot through traffic that's going to go wide. Gibbs from the right wing, a shot that's blocked in front. Puck loose at the right side of the Marian goal, and Frummel's drops down to a knee. It puts the trapper on it, and we're going to get a face-off in the Marian zone with 16:20 remaining here in the second period. Yellow Jackets and Marian tied 1-1 from Westman Arena in Superior. John Garver with you here on this Wednesday evening. Second consecutive Wednesday the Yellow Jackets have been in action on home ice. Got the win last Wednesday over Beloit. They're going to try to turn that trick again. Shot taken from the right point by Gibbs, gets blocked in front. Comes to Norman on the left wing, and he'll carry to center for Marian. He dumps it down into the Yellow Jackets zone, and Ryder wins the foot race to that one. And it'll be icing. Face-off will come all the way back down to the right of Tyler Frummels. Roosevelt will step in and take the draw. Marian controls, and Politoski sends that ahead for Norman on the left wing. He crosses the Yellow Jacket line with speed, takes a shot from the high slot, and a save made by Skorpic. Rebound directed to the left wing corner. Now Norman spins away from a check. He takes a shot from the left side. That gets blocked. Danziger retrieves the loose puck, and he'll play it ahead on the right wing, Herbner. That pass intended for Roosevelt doesn't go. Brennan in his own zone, ahead for Herbner on the right wing. He gets tied up. Pizzi on the left wing boards for Marian, flips that high in the air, back into Yellow Jacket territory. Brennan banks it off the end board for Danziger. Now ahead on the right wing, Setter. He comes to the middle and feeds it for Ishmael. On the left wing boards, Ishmael hits the brakes at the hash marks, gives to Brennan. Left circle, his shot goes high and wide. Now on the right wing, Dauphiné comes off the wall, takes the shot. That catches traffic in front. Ishmael tried to poke that down to the corner, but it doesn't go. And back the other way comes Carlson. Carlson on the left wing, dumps it down into the Yellow Jacket zone behind the net. Skorpic leaving it there. Bergstrom up the boards. Setter's going to tip that to neutral ice, and now it's going to get dumped back down into the Yellow Jacket zone. Behind the net, Bergstrom ahead on the left wing. He's got Dauphiné there to the middle, Riddle. Now for Bergstrom. Gives that to Brennan. He flips it into the Marian zone. Dauphiné gives chase. Plays it behind the goal for Setter. Puck bounces up in the air, knocked down, and back the other direction, Jeffries. He'll play it out to neutral. Yellow Jackets getting it back here. Ryder ahead on the left wing. Wanted Dauphiné. Jansen jumped the route there, picks it off, and it's played back into the Yellow Jacket zone. On the left wing, Dauphiné had no idea the D-man was coming, but he missed it. It's a 3-on-2 the other way, but Dauphiné couldn't catch up to the puck. Now in the neutral zone, this is Riddle on the left wing boards, ahead for Setter. Jeffries bumps him. Bottom retrieves it here for Marian, backs it up now, and it's played ahead to center. On the right wing, Flint, dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. As we pass the 6-minute mark of this second period, Yellow Jackets and Marian tied 1-1. On the right wing, this is Bottom. He crosses the Yellow Jacket line. A rising shot, top of the right circle, misses, and that's going to come all the way out to center. Now Dauphiné causing the turnover just inside the Marian line, but he couldn't get loose. Tied up nicely there by Brady Brenner. That's a couple nice defensive plays by him. Ryder's pass for Dauphiné doesn't go, as Pickard stepped into that, and now Riddle flips that high in the air. Glove down by Mulder in the Marian zone. He'll send it back the other way. It's going to come all the way down, and the result will be icing. Going to have to do a little recon here on Brendan Bottom. The sophomore forward for Marian comes from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. And it just so happens that the all-time leader in assists here at UW Superior, Jeff Bottom, who was on the 1976 championship team, also hails from Thief River Falls, Minnesota. So I'm just curious if there is a relation there. At the right point, Danzinger's shot gets blocked, and Marian coming back the other way with numbers if they hurry up the left wing. Babiak takes the shot. That's going to be deflected wide. Now the Jackets with numbers the other direction. Yarmolnik left circle, fakes the shot, takes the shot, and he scores! First of the year for Alexei Yarmolnik. As the Marian opportunity went wide at one end, and that basically broke the Yellow Jackets out. Yarmolnik got it on the left wing boards, got across the line, looked the defenseman off with a pass, and ripped a shot short side for his first of the season. 6:56 of the second period, and the Yellow Jackets are in front.
Yellow Jackets, his first goal of the year, number 8, Alexei Yarmolnik. He got an assist on the goal from number 5, Matt Danziger.
So Danziger with the lone assist on that one. Jackets in front. Puck is in their zone, however. It comes up to the left point. A long shot taken there by Politoski, and it's kicked away by Skorpik. Jackets come back on the attack. Bergstrom across the red line. He dumps it in. It comes around behind the Marian goal all the way up to the line. Axel walks it to the middle. Sends it to the left circle for Lucier. Up top, left point, Bergstrom over to the right side. Axel feeds it into the slot. It goes off the stick of Larson. Puck comes up to the blue line. Bouncing puck is going to be held in as Bergstrom's got it. He sends it over to the right wing side. Larson for the Yellow Jackets. Wanted to give it to Roosevelt in the right corner. It finally does get to him. Puck tied up along the boards. Coming out with it, Larson. Larson carries it into the high slot. Dropping it off. Brennan, right circle, fires, and that's going to be tipped wide. Now Larson on the left wing boards. Gets through a check. Gives it behind the net for Roosevelt. Roosevelt fakes his way, gets away from Politoski. Drops it off for Larson on the right wing boards. Up top, left point, Brennan, the one-timer gets blocked. Shea in the left wing corner. Back up top for Brennan. His shot gets blocked again. And Marian will come back on the attack as Pickards clears it to neutral. Jackets quickly transition again. In the center face-off circle, Shea gets knocked off the puck, and it gets dumped down into Yellow Jacket territory. At center on the left wing side, Ishmael tries to bully his way into the offensive zone, but that doesn't go. Puck just outside the Marian blue line, finally taken there and flipped down to the right wing corner. Jansen gets there first. And back the other way comes Marian, but in the neutral zone, Ryder jumps the route again, and the Jackets back on the attack. Ryder curls it back to his own line now as he gives to Brennan. Brennan quickly up the left wing. Roosevelt tips it to the Marian side of center, but back the other way quickly they come. Raudio into the slot now. Carlson backhand shot blocked in front. Brennan carries for the Jackets and sends it ahead to center for Ishmael on the right wing. He crosses the Marian line. Ishmael 1-on-5 right now as the Yellow Jackets are in the midst of a line change. It comes over to the left wing corner. Up top now for Ryder. Cade Shea left corner, leaving it behind the net. Dauphiné. Justin Dauphiné spins from a check, comes behind the Marian goal, works his way out front into the slot. He was between the circles before he lost the puck. Ryder left point, down low. Herbner left corner, back up top for Ryder, over to the right point for Gibbs, and he sends it to the front of the net. Riddle's got it here now. Carson Riddle comes out of the right wing corner with speed, carries into the high slot and leaves it for Ryder. Tyler Ryder on the right wing side, carries down to the corner, drives it to the net, takes the shot. Frummels makes the save, rebound popped in the air, and Marian decides to take the reset. That's going to come all the way down, and it's going to be icing on the Sabres. So as we talked about during the first intermission, as Chris Ishmael talked about prior to the break, moving our feet in the offensive zone, and we're getting a healthy dose of that so far here in the second period. Jackets have looked really good here in the middle frame so far. 10:01 to go, and they lead 2-1. Herbner with the shot off the faceoff that's going to miss wide. It's loose at the left side of the net. Riddle takes a shot that goes over the top of the cage. Now it's picked up on the left side by Twos. Rink-wide feed on the right for Cole Carlson. Back to Marchaliti. Now ahead on the left wing for Twos, and he'll flip it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Skorpic sets it up. Bergstrom's got it here, and he'll fire it up the left wing. Dauphiné speeds away on the left wing and sends it ahead for Herbner, but that pass a little too high and a little too hard. Herbner on the right wing boards, into the high slot, up to the left point. Axel stick handles, gives it into the middle now for Bergstrom. Bergstrom works himself free. He's got it left circle, throws it in front. The redirection by Yarmolnik just misses wide. Now on the right wing side, this is Bergstrom again. Takes the shot, saving. Yarmolnik on the rebound! And oh, what a stop! Or not a stop. Apparently that went in the net. Goal light never came on. Apparently that was a goal. And that, my friends, is the worst goal call of all time. Because, I mean, the referees are still talking about it. Goal light never came on. Goal horn never went. The referee pointed at the net after the fact. And so that definitely is a goal. 10:48 the time. I'm assuming it's going to be Alexei Yarmolnik getting his second. Explanation going on between the officials and Clay Van Diest. And somebody run down and see if Jerry Moe's goal light works. Because that's usually the fail-safe. You look down there, you see the red light. Okay, you know something good happened. We'll wait for the official announcement here, but I believe it's Yarmolnik getting his second of the game. I thought Frummel's made an incredible save on that, but I thought wrong. So 3-1 Yellow Jackets. We'll wait for the official announcement.
Yellow Jackets, his second goal of the hockey game. Number 8, Alexei Yarmolnik. He got an assist from number 6, Dusty Bergstrom, and number 21, Evan Axel.
So Axel and Bergstrom getting the assists, excuse me, on Yarmolnik's second of the game. And the Jackets now have the 3-1 lead. As we head into the media timeout, Yellow Jacket fans get the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear by visiting the Yellow Jacket Sideline store. Browse the latest styles of gear, including shirts, shorts, sweatshirts, outerwear, and more. The Yellow Jacket Sideline store can be found at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop. Yellow Jacket Hockey and Bills Distributing are partnering to benefit Folds of Honor for the 10th year in a row. Every time the Yellow Jackets score a goal at home, Bills Distributing will donate $20 to Folds of Honor, helping provide scholarships and educational assistance for the families of fallen or severely wounded servicemen and women and first responders. And if I do some quick math here, I can tell you that 9, 14... 17, 20, 23, $460 so far this year is what the Yellow Jackets have helped Bills Distributing donate to Folds of Honor. And going back over the life of this program, it's over $10,000 that the Yellow Jacket men's and women's hockey teams have helped them contribute. So a very worthwhile charity and a worthwhile cause that the Yellow Jackets and our friends at Bills Distributing have combined with over the last decade. Pickard has it for Marian, gives it to Politoski behind his net. They move it ahead on the left wing for Norman. He'll cut it all the way over to the right wing side, and we're going to get a whistle and offside call on the Sabres. So again, all apologies for not having a standard goal call on that. Completely thrown off by the no goal light on that one. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, Danziger up the right wing for Austin Paul. He gets bumped on the play and it comes to center. Yarmolnik steps into it and spikes it volleyball style into the offensive zone. That was a good spike. That's got to make McKenna Hobein happy, right? She's not even paying attention. The all-conference hitter not paying attention to the radio guy at all. She's in the zone running that music computer right now, not even paying attention to me, so that's good. She's doing her job. Yeah, I was talking to you on the air. Yes, I was. Face-off in the Yellow Jacket zone, 8:35 remaining here in the second period. Now she's rattled. Marian wins the face-off. Pickard at the left point walks it, fires, and the deflection goes wide. Gibbs on the right side clears, but not out. Shot from the left point. Politoski has that go over the top of the goal. Yarmolnik on the left wing goes off the left glass all the way down, and that's going to be icing. Yarmolnik having a good night here. 2 goals so far on 2 shots. So the shooting percentage is 100, but he's doing a pretty good job in the face-off circle too. Now over 500 there. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, Ryder pokes it around to the left side. That's not going to come out of the zone. Ryder gets away from the check and feeds Kagawa left wing. He chips it past the D. Austin Paul gets around one man, picks it up left wing circle, puts it to the front of the net for Kagawa, and his redirection just misses. Now in the right wing corner. Overskating the puck, Paul. The clearing attempt held in at the right point by Gibbs. Pickard's got it for Marian. Gives it to Caden Carlson on the right wing. He clears it to neutral ice. At the Yellow Jacket line, Ryder. He'll throw that one ahead, and it's going to be tipped in the offensive zone. Giving Chase Larson his centering pass for Lucier doesn't go. And it's going to come back the other way quickly with Mulder across the line. His shot's going to miss wide of the Yellow Jacket net. Bergstrom gets it behind the goal and starts it ahead on the right wing side. Bergstrom across the red line into the Marian zone. Drops it off for Lucier. Rink wide feed just out of the reach of Elliot Mickish. And it's going to come back the other direction out to neutral ice. Yellow Jackets will regain control as Axel comes back into his own zone. Evan Axel behind the goal, leaving it for Bergstrom. He'll exit the right side and dish to the right wing out of the reach of Zach Lucier. Now Jansen for Marian. Fans on the pass. It's picked off there by Larson. Larson feeds it through for Mickish. Now to the front of the net for Lucier, and he got turned around a little bit on that pass. Comes back up top. Right point. Axel walks and fires and misses high. Yellow Jackets given that glass behind the net a workout here in the second period. In the left wing corner, Roosevelt Sands Lumber in there battling for it. Ishmael lurking, looking for the loose puck. 5-car pile up, left wing corner with 6.5 to go here in period number 2. Jackets up 3-1. At center, Seminara for Marian. Dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Behind the net, Danziger picks it up. Gives it for Brennan. Brennan ahead on the left wing for Roosevelt. Roosevelt with only 1 shot on net tonight, so Mom, if you're listening, make sure you send him a note. Jeffries behind his net, wraps it around on the left wing. 2 is run into there by Roosevelt. In to help out is Herbner. He'll poke it loose. It comes behind the net now. Ishmael got a stick on it. Herbner's got it. Herbner left side up top, left point. Brennan back to Herbner. He'll leave it for Brennan now, who takes the shot. That's going to miss wide to the right. Danziger on the right wing boards. Down low to the corner, Ishmael. Back up top for Danziger. He takes the shot, and that's going to be tipped into the left wing corner. Herbner on the boards, gets knocked off his feet. Ishmael in to help out. Herbner from the knees up top at the left point. Brennan, that shot gets blocked. Marian back the other way with numbers now. This is Carlson across the line, left circle. Feeds it into the slot, but a great job by Brennan to get a stick on it. Jackets back the other way. Tyler Ryder leading the rush. Ryder gets around one, carries behind the Marian goal. Line change in progress here. Ryder holds on to the puck and drives it deep. Behind the net, Dauphiné here. Justin Dauphiné leaves it down low for Setter as we pass the 15-minute mark of the second period. 3-1 Yellow Jackets out front. Dauphiné's shot just misses wide left. Up at the left point, Ryder giving it to Setter. His shot gets tipped. It's loose left circle. Setter gets it back. A shot and a stick save made by Frummels. Now on the right wing side, Dauphiné down to the corner. This is Carson Riddle. He stops on the hash marks, comes back to the circle, takes the shot. It's blocked. He gets it back. Riddle behind the net to the left wing side. Carries it up the boards. Riddle now into the high slot. Floats it over. Bergstrom, right circle, takes the shot. That's deflected wide. On the left wing boards, it's Setter. He takes a shot, and it's tipped over the top of the net. At the right point, Axel holds the zone for Riddle. Now down low, Dauphiné. Behind the Marian goal, he's pinned to the board. Setter in to help out. Loose puck behind the net. Comes over to the left wing corner. Penalty coming. It's going to be on Justin Dauphiné as they're going to get him for a hook. And it's going to be a power play here for the Sabres with 4:10 remaining in period number 2. The homer in me would like to say that he probably could have taken one each way because it looked like Jeffries had a hold of the stick. But at the end of the day, what Justin Dauphiné did was a penalty, and the Jackets will go shorthanded for the first time tonight. 15:50 the time of the hooking call on Justin Dauphiné, his first trip to the sin bin this year. Marian power play comes into the game at 15.2%. Yellow Jacket PK firing at 83.9%. At the right point, Picker mishandles the pass, and it comes out into the neutral zone. Yellow Jackets have Ishmael and Roosevelt up front. And on defense, they have Danziger and Ryder. Saturday against St. John's, Yellow Jackets scored their third shorthanded goal of the campaign. It comes up top left point now. Picker walks it to the middle. Bottom on the right wing side. Over to the left side now. Shot blocked, and Roosevelt picks that one up and sends it all the way down. Go back to the opener. First goal of the season for the Yellow Jackets came courtesy of Justin Dauphiné, and it was a shorthanded marker. Two's up the right wing, sends it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Puck tied up along the end board. Caden Carlson digs it free, wraps it around the wall. Up at the right point, Pickert walks it to the middle. Feeds over left point, a shot stick save made by Skorpik as that one got through. Good shot there by Brady Brenner at the left point. He's got the puck now into the high slot. Pickert, bottom in the right circle, feeds that one to the left circle, looking for twos going to the net, but it just misses. Jackets get control but can't clear. 45 left in the minor. Penalty to Justin Dauphiné. On the right wing side, it's Bottom. Stick handles, looks, stick handles, backs it up. Fans on the pass, and Dusty Bergstrom says thank you very much. Sends it all the way down the ice. Gets dumped to the ice for his trouble. But the Jackets will change all 4 penalty killers. Meanwhile, Marian will change their power play unit. The lone exception being Brenner, who's got the puck now. Feeds Politoski left wing across the Yellow Jacket line. He carries it to the corner. Puck gets free behind the net. Ryder tried to poke it around the boards, but it gets blocked. Now it's going to come free to Weeks, who passes that up to the blue line. Brenner holds at the right point. Now into the slot, a one-timer blocked in front by Yarmolnik. Now Brenner's got it again at the right point. Shot gets through, and that one just misses wide. Lang behind the net. Penalized player back on, so we're back to 5-on-5. Each team now 0 for 1 on the power play. Yarmolnik goes down awkwardly, but gets the puck ahead, and Dauphiné will carry it to center. Across the red line, he flips it to the left corner. Gets around Jansen and picks it up. Dauphiné, left corner here, carries behind the net. Now hits the brakes. Riddle in to help out. Puck tied up along the end board. Riddle works it free to the left corner. Riddle now leaving it there for Yarmolnik on the left wing. Yarmolnik up top, left point Bergstrom. Over now to the right point, Evan Axel. Dauphiné right circle, turns and fires, and a glove save is made by Frummels. He's going to hang on. With 1:28 to go here in the second period. Roosevelt in to take the draw because Ishmael's had a tough day in the face-off circle. Having won just 1 out of 8 draws he's taken. Marian controlling it here. Marchalidi behind the net. Leaving it there, and it's played to center by Jeffries. Owen Norman on the right wing. Knocked off the play by Roosevelt. Jackets dump it back in. Comes right back out. And Evan Axel dumps it into the Yellow Jacket bench. Actually through the Yellow Jacket bench. Heads up over there, Mr. Boschert. .63 seconds to play here in the second period. Neutral zone face-off. Roosevelt in to take it. Cade Shea's got it for the Jackets. Backs it up for Brennan. Then his pass misses Ishmael. Comes all the way down. Icing waved off. Frummels plays it over for Pickert. His pass out to neutral. Broken up again. Ishmael's got it for the Yellow Jackets here, and he'll dump it back into the Marian zone. It comes around behind the goal. Cole Carlson's got it here, and he starts it back the other way. Gives it off for Twos on the left wing, who dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Cole Carlson behind the net. Up top, left point, Politoski. Right point, Pickard. Shot blocked. And Roosevelt picks up the loose puck and sends it ahead. Wanted to spring Larson up the right wing, but that was intercepted. Comes back into the Yellow Jacket zone. Larson again. That one doesn't leave either. Back to the front of the goal now, where Brennan's got it, and he goes off the glass, left wing side to neutral ice. Larson across the red line. Dances around one man, carries it into the Marian zone from the slot, takes the shot, but it hits a skate. Puck goes into the left wing corner now, and Marian will come back the other way as the buzzer will sound, bringing this second period to a conclusion. Really good second period here for the Yellow Jackets. And it hasn't been their best period. I mean, they had given up more goals than they scored in the second period throughout the season. But they were able to flip that tonight, and now officially have outscored the opposition in all three periods thanks to a 3-goal second period. 2 of those goals were scored by Yellow Jackets sophomore center Alexei Yarmolnik, and right now he is ice level with Abby Hoffman.
All right, Alexei, you guys are up 3-2, and not only did you score one of the goals to get you in the lead, you scored your second goal, which were your first 2 goals of the season. How do you feel right now?
I feel awesome. Without my teammates, I couldn't have done it, and I'm enjoying this moment a lot.
What do you guys need to do in the next period to carry that momentum?
We have to definitely start winning our face-offs more, and we got to put the pucks in the right place in the offensive zone in order to keep winning.
Okay, great. And then the most important question remains, should the crowd be prepared to throw their hats onto the ice in the last period?
I'll definitely try my best, and it will be awesome if I can do it. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Back to you, John.
All right, thank you very much, Abby. Great question there, too, by the way, putting the sophomore on the spot. Got a few hats up here. I expect a couple of those going over the glass if he indeed does pop that third one here tonight. 3-1 Jackets after 2. We'll take a timeout and come back with our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back here at Westman Arena. It's our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. And the Yellow Jackets, who were trailing by a goal coming into period number 2, flipped the script in period number 2, and they now have a 3-1 lead here after 40 minutes at Westman Arena. First period was lacking in some areas, and fortunately for the Yellow Jackets, they heeded the advice of Chris Ishmael. He talked about moving his feet more, the whole team moving their feet more, and we talked also about getting a little bit more aggressive on the forecheck, getting that transition game working a little bit, and lo and behold, they did those things and came out and popped 3, and now have a 3-1 lead after 2 periods on the season when the Yellow Jackets are leading after 2. That's a good thing, as they are 8-0 on the campaign when their record is, or when they are leading after 40 minutes of play. It was 1-0 Marian after 1. Cole Carlson scoring his 4th at 15:53. The Yellow Jackets tied at just 17 seconds into the second period. They got the puck down in the offensive zone despite losing the faceoff. And a clearing attempt by Marian was intercepted on the right wing boards by Evan Axel, and he carried it into the right circle and wired a wrist shot high over the shoulder of goaltender Tyler Frummel's. His second goal of the season tied the game for the Yellow Jackets. They were able to take the lead at 6:56 of the second period when Alexei Yarmolnik scored his second goal of the campaign. It looks like they removed the assist from Matthew Danziger, and I kind of think that's how it was supposed to be, as he was able to get a loose puck on a clearing attempt at his own blue line, carried it up the left side, and what I really liked is he got near the left circle, and he sort of looked off the defender a little bit, forced that defenseman to favor the middle a little bit more, forced the goaltender to look off that a little bit, and opened up everything on the short side, and his wrister beat him on the stick side. His first goal of the season. Got to go all the way back to November 22nd of 2024 to find the last time Alexei Yarmolnik scored. That was, in fact, his only collegiate goal. He scored once last year and hadn't found the net so far this year, but it was a great shot there that put the Yellow Jackets in front 2-1. Then at 10:48 of the period, the Yellow Jackets extending the lead, and it was... I was watching the goal judge. I didn't think it went in. Marian kind of kept playing, then they just sort of stood around, looking around like what just happened here. Yellow Jackets didn't even really celebrate all that much. But at any rate, puck ended up going in the net as Alexei Yarmolnik got a rebound in front and scored his second of the game, second of the season, third of his career. Dusty Bergstrom and Evan Axel got the assists. And that's where we stand after 40, the Yellow Jackets with a 3-1 lead. Shots on goal in the second period. The Yellow Jackets had 10 for a 2-period total of 19, even though the scoreboard says 16. At the other end, Marian had just 5 for a 2-period total of 12. Penalties in the game so far. Each team has been penalized once for 2 minutes, and each team has gone 0 for 1 on the power play, each team with only 1 shot on goal, while they had the man advantage as well. Jan Skorpik so far tonight with 11 stops for the Yellow Jackets, and at the other end, Tyler Frummel's has made 16 saves for Marian. If I look back at the things from the season opener, that game, just like this one, the Yellow Jackets were up, or had scored 3 goals through 2 periods before blowing it open in the third. And it started with the that strange power play goal that Chris Ishmael scored. We went to dump it in, and at such a goofy angle, it hit the glass and kind of rolled into the wide open net because Frummel's had left the goal to go and stop it behind the net. And then it just took off from there as the Jackets ended up scoring 4 times in the third period on the way to the 7-0 victory. So with the goals here tonight, I talked about it right before the break. Coming into the game tonight, the Yellow Jackets were a +6 in the first period, having outscored the opponents 14-8. They're a +6 in the third period, having outscored opponents 18-12. But they were -1 in the second period, having been outscored 17-16. But with what they did here tonight, now they have moved to the positive side of the ledger on that one as well, as they have scored 19 times in the second period, while allowing 17 goals. So the middle frame has been the tricky one for the Yellow Jackets throughout the year, and they put together probably one of their best second periods all season long with what they did here this evening. About 12 minutes away from the start of the third period. Yellow Jackets have a 3-1 lead over Marian. We'll take a break and come back with more of our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV and affiliates of the Watts Network. Here at Westman Arena, it's the second intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. Yellow Jackets leading 3-1 after 40 minutes. Evan Axel his second, and Alexei Yarmolnik his first and second, the 3 goals in that middle period for the Yellow Jackets, who will be back in action a week from Friday. They'll be at Hunt Arena in River Falls. First of a 2-game series down there at Hunt Arena. 7:05 face-off, 6:30 pregame show on that Friday evening, as the Yellow Jackets are going to look to keep pace with the top 2 teams in the WIAC, UW Eau Claire and UW Stout. 8 games remaining after this one here tonight, and 3 points on the line in every single one of them. Every point extremely valuable in WIAC play, so hopefully the Yellow Jackets will keep whatever is working well for them right now. They'll keep all of that rolling as they head into conference play next weekend. But after playing 4 games in 8 days, they most definitely are going to be happy to have a little bit of a break here before they get into conference play next weekend. Next sports broadcast on 91.3 KUWS is tentatively scheduled for Friday, when the Yellow Jacket women's hockey team is at home to take on UW River Falls. The Falcons, the number 1 team in the nation in each of the Division III polls. They are also the 2-time defending national champions. They'll be coming to Westman Arena for the first of 2 games here. 7 o'clock face-off, and if we are able to air on KUWS, it'll be a 6:45 pregame show. Right now, the hang-up was we just need to find somebody to be at the station to get the game on the air, and then we will absolutely be bringing that one to you. They played their final non-conference games last weekend, the Yellow Jackets did, so now from here on out it is also WIAC play. Yellow Jacket women currently sitting 4th in the conference standings, behind UW Eau Claire, who's in first place, River Falls in second, and Stevens Point in third. Only 3 conference games have been played so far across the women's side of the WIAC, whereas the men's side of things have already played 7. So down the stretch they go on the women's side as well. Every point extremely valuable, as the Yellow Jacket women will try to maintain playoff position in the WIAC. Again, 7 o'clock Friday face-off here at Westman Arena, 6:45 pregame show. Then on Saturday, the Yellow Jacket basketball teams will be back home at the Mertz. Also done with non-conference play are the 2 Yellow Jacket basketball teams. They'll be taking on Martin Luther. 3 o'clock tip-off for the women. 4:45 to 5:15 is the tip-off window for the men in the second game of that doubleheader. The Big Sound, Matt Johnson, will have the call on both 91.3 KUWS and Yellow Jacket TV. Initial pregame show coming at about 2:45 in that one. And also happening on Saturday, it'll be the Twin Ports Open in the Lydia Thiering Fieldhouse. That is the open of the... I shouldn't say the open because there's already been a couple of meets that happened back in December, but the first meet of 2026 for the Yellow Jacket men's and women's indoor track and field teams. It is the first of 3 home meets this season that the Yellow Jackets will host at Lydia Thiering Fieldhouse. Events will get underway probably somewhere around 11 o'clock-ish. Give or take a few minutes. That'll be, it's always fun to watch those events because there's so much that goes on. And you've got races happening and throws going on and jumps going on all at the same time. It's organized chaos, basically, is what a track and field meet is. And Yellow Jackets will be hosting 3 here at the Lydia Thiering Fieldhouse. The first one this Saturday, the Twin Ports Open. So it'll be a big sports day. And it's also an apparel sale, apparently. So if you need to get some Yellow Jacket gear and you don't want to go through the sideline store that we talked about in that second period, feel free to come to the events on Saturday afternoon at the Mertz and Lydia Thiering Fieldhouse and browse everything that is basically amounts to a Yellow Jacket garage sale, except this is all new gear, with the exception of the game-worn jerseys and stuff that they are trying to move. Everything is brand new. Still has the tags on it and everything, so discount prices at the apparel sale, which will be going on this weekend. And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the 15th annual Yellow Jacket Beer and Wine Showcase that is coming up Friday the 13th at Barker's Island Inn in the ballroom there. 5:30 to 8 p.m. Sample beer and wine courtesy of local brewers. Tickets on sale soon. You can purchase those from any Yellow Jacket student athlete or from the Yellow Jacket administrative offices in the Markovich Wellness Center up on the second floor. Tickets $25. All the proceeds benefiting Yellow Jacket Athletics. Really fun event. And if you are a connoisseur of the craft beers or wines and seltzers and all those things, this is a great event to go to, and you can't beat the price. Food is pretty good, too, and also the auction items and raffles that there are going on. Lots of good stuff at that event. 15th annual Yellow Jacket Beer and Wine Showcase. Just over 4 minutes away from the start of period number 3. Yellow Jackets with an edge of 16-12 in shots on goal, and they have a 3-1 lead over Marian after 2. We'll take a break and come back with the end of our intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, and the opening face-off of period number 3 from Westman Arena right after this. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back at Westman Arena, just under 2 minutes away from the puck drop that'll start the third period. Yellow Jackets with the 3-1 lead over Marian after 2. The number 4, kind of the magic number for the Yellow Jackets here. They're a perfect 5-0 when they score 4 or more goals in the contest. Consequently, when they allow less than 4 goals, they are 10-2-1. So they are rock solid club when they score more than 4 and give up fewer than 4. Special hello to the Squire, Rich McKenna Sr. out in New York, who's tuning in and giving me a hard time for, I can't even say butchering the goal call on Alexei Yarmolnik's second of the night, because I didn't have anything to butcher. But always good to have the Squire tuning in. If he's at the Legion, a special hello to everybody at the Greenwood Lake American Legion. Both teams back on the ice here for the start of this third period. Yellow Jackets defending the goal. 2 hour left. And they'll be going from left to right across your radio dial or your computer screen here in this third period. They will start the same way they have started the first 2 periods here tonight. Ishmael, Shea, Roosevelt up front. Axel and Bergstrom on the blue line. Ishmael and Pizzi will do the honors. Pizzi won the opening faceoff of the first. He won the opening faceoff of the second. And he'll win the opening faceoff of the third. It's controlled here by Marian, and Brenner dumps it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Skorpic out of the goal, wraps it around the left side. Marian holding the zone. It comes behind the Yellow Jacket net once again. Ishmael's got it there now. Backhands it over to the left side. And Bergstrom will flip that high in the air to center. Cade Shea tipping it into the Marian zone. Sabres will get control and come right back the other way. Across the Yellow Jacket line. Owen Norman takes the shot, and that's going to miss. I think it's knocked off his skates. Then a big check in the right wing corner as Roosevelt got run over, and Bergstrom got run over. He's a little hobbled. I think folks wanted a penalty call on the play. Yellow Jacket bench was definitely looking that way, but play continuing on. Ishmael on the right wing dumps it into the Marian zone. Sabres come right back out. Bottom into Yellow Jacket territory. Takes a sharp angle shot to the left side that goes off the outside of the cage. Jordan Gibbs has it back here now and feeds it ahead for Riddle. He gets around one man. Riddle into the Marian zone, right circle. Curls toward the boards. Passes it down low to the right corner. Setter's got it there. Setter tied up along the wall, trying to work himself loose. Kicks the puck behind the net. It goes over to the left wing side. Ryder giving chase. He ties up with Bottom in the corner. Marian comes free with it here, and they'll clear it to center. Yellow Jackets will send it right back in. Along the end boards. Setter tried to poke it to the left corner, but that doesn't go, and Marian comes back on the attack to center. Babiak up the right wing, gets knocked off the play. Gets back up and feeds it up top. A one-timer from the right point is going to go wide as Marcelliti sent that one away. Behind the net, Jansen's got it here for Marian. He's got a right wing corner, leaves it behind the net. Babiak tied up. Mulder has it now, centering pass out front. That shot's going to miss wide. And then dropping down and covering it up is Skorpic. Just at the right side of the goal as the pushing and shoving ensues. Face-off coming here in Yellow Jacket territory. 17:54 remaining here, third period. 3-1 Yellow Jackets leading. Yarmolnik in to take the face-off for the Yellow Jackets here. Marian wins the draw. Marcelliti with the shot from the right circle. Stick save made by Skorpic. Bergstrom works it out of the corner and feeds it to Austin Paul. His pass over to the left wing comes down behind the Marian goal now, and it's rotated back behind it to the right wing side. Puck is chipped past Yarmolnik, and It's going to be carried to center by Owen Norman, excuse me. Owen Nolan was an NHLer. Big hit in the corner as Axel knocks Pizzi off the play. Yarmolnik picks it up. Backhands that, and it'll go up into the Yellow Jacket bench. And we'll get a face-off here once again in the Yellow Jacket zone. First 4 shots of this third period have gone the way of Marian. They only had 5 in the second. And they have 4 shots on net here in the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds of action in the third. The bulk of it has been in the Yellow Jacket zone. 3-1, the Jackets leading. Puck is behind their net. Elliot Mickish has it. He'll leave it for Tyler Ryder. Ryder then turns it over, but the Jackets get it back, and Herbner starts it the other way. Over to the left side. Mickish across the line. Back for Herbner going to the net. He throws it into the slot looking for Larson. Thinking for a high slot trailer, but Larson was driving the net on the right side. Edison Weeks now in the neutral zone for Brenner on the left wing boards. He'll cross the Yellow Jacket line and send it in. Ryder behind the net loses his footing. Then he falls down. The puck underneath him. It's dug free. Raudio up to the blue line. Brenner couldn't hold the zone. Jackets come back to center with it here. Mickish turns and feeds a pass ahead. It's going to be out of the reach of Larson, and it's going to be an icing call on the Yellow Jackets. 16:33 to go in the third. Face-off will be in Yellow Jacket territory to the right of Jan Skorpic. Larson wins the face-off clean. It comes back behind the Yellow Jacket net for Gibbs. Up the left wing for Mickish, who tips it for Larson. Larson able to clear. It comes into the Marian zone. Larson will chase Pickard all the way down the ice. Pickard gets away from Larson and carries it up the left wing boards. Crosses the Yellow Jacket line, takes the shot. It's blocked by Gibbs. That one stung a little bit. Now the puck up to the line. Roosevelt tips it ahead to Lucier. Back to Roosevelt. On the right wing boards, Roosevelt gets away from Politoski. Gives it behind the net for Lucier. It's poke checked away from him, but Brennan has it now left wing corner. Brennan moves that one up top. Ishmael back deep. Behind the net, Roosevelt. He's tied up there by Flint. Puck is worked loose again. Lucier up top at the left point. Brennan now back down to the left wing corner. Ishmael sends it hard around the boards, up to the right point for Danziger. Danziger has it in the right circle, takes the shot. That one's just going to miss high. Puck comes up to the line, and it's going to get past everybody and come all the way down. Icing will be waved off. Out of the net, Skorpic passes it softly around the left wing boards for Dauphiné. Then he has it kicked off his stick. Puck ends up behind the Yellow Jacket net. Danziger up on the left wing. Dauphiné, he comes off the boards and cuts to the middle now. Dauphiné across the Marian line. Loses the puck, but Ishmael following the play sends it back down to him. That pass intercepted, and back the other way comes Marian. In the Yellow Jacket zone, Setter's got it now. Off the right wing boards, he'll clear it to neutral ice. Marcelliti gets it back for Marian, and he dumps it in. Marian pressing here in the early stages of the third period. Jackets seem a tad flat. Now it's played ahead at center on the left wing. Dauphiné's pass intercepted, and Marian clears it back to center ice. Seminara will dump it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Raudio chases it down, gives it behind the net for Cole Carlson. Jackets regaining control here with Setter, and he'll clear. Tews will back that up to his own blue line and passes over to the right wing. Jackets intercept now 2-on-1. Dauphiné left circle, stick handles, fires, and the save is made by Frummels. Deflecting that one into the netting. Dauphiné and Setter had the 2-on-1 there. Dauphiné kind of looked the defenseman off with a little bit of a stick handle and got himself a better shooting lane. Frummels makes the save on that one. Jackets win the face-off. Ryder on the left wing boards, carries down to the left corner. Now back up top, left point Kagawa. Stick handles, fires. Frummels the save. So he takes the blocker and deflects that one over the glass into the netting once again. 14:07 to play here in the third. 3-1, Yellow Jackets leading. On the left wing boards, it's carried to center by Edison Weeks of Marian. He dumps it in. Skorpic out of the net. Wrap that one around the left side. It doesn't leave the zone. Now Ryder's got it behind the goal. Ahead on the right wing, Paul tips it ahead. Kagawa had it chopped off his stick. Jackets have to tag up. In the neutral zone, Kagawa's got it right wing boards. Backs it all the way to his blue line. Over to the left side for Gibbs. Gibbs up the left wing boards into the Marian zone. He's tied up. Loose puck behind the goal. Paul got that one with the glove. It's tipped to the line, but held in at the left point momentarily by Kagawa. Now it does come to neutral ice. Kagawa tips it to the right wing for Paul. Paul across the line, but the Yellow Jackets are going to be called for an offside. Austin Paul and Emil Raudio having a brief conversation. Face-off will be outside the Marian line. 13:18 remaining in the third. 3-1, the Yellow Jackets in front. Raudio at center. Sends that into the Yellow Jacket zone. Right wing corner. Danziger gets there first. Two's behind the net center. Skorpic breaks that up with the goal stick. Herbner on the right wing. Tried to get that one out. Nowhere for him to go, so he retreats. Danziger then throws that one into the slot. It comes to Marcellini, a shot, and that's just going to miss wide. Rebound shot left side, and Skorpic able to make the save. And he will hang on to that as Matt Danziger with a very uncharacteristic, careless defensive play. Throwing it into the slot. Marcellini whistles a shot wide, and then Carlson on the rebound. Had the first one blocked, the second one stopped. Face off to the right of Skorpic. Controlled by Marian. Caden Carlson behind the net. Passes that one up. It's going to go all the way out to neutral ice. Politoski will chase it down in his own zone. Giving it off for Pickert. Now he goes ahead on the right wing for Bottom, and he'll dump it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Flint's giving chase. It comes behind the Yellow Jacket net. Bergstrom ahead for Cade Shea at center. Shea up the right wing. Feathers that one down into the corner. Picked up there by Ishmael. To the left corner, Roosevelt. Politoski closes on him. Shea coming in to help out. Roosevelt trying to kick it loose. Marian's going to come away with it. They wrap it around on the left side. Caden Carlson couldn't handle the pass, but it does sneak out to the neutral zone. And now the Yellow Jackets will be called for an offside. As we tick below 12 minutes remaining here in this third period. Jackets up 3-1. In the neutral zone, it's controlled here by Ryder. He throws it up the left wing, and Dauphiné sends it in. Comes down behind the Marian net. Played up to the line. Gibbs holds it in, and that's going to come back down behind the Marian goal once again. Jeffries around to the right side for Babiak, but stepping up to pinch there and hold the zone. Ryder up the left wing, down to the corner. Passes it along the end boards. Lucier's got it there now. Lucier left corner, up top left point Ryder. Now it's Riddle, back up top, left point Ryder, pulls it to the middle, gives it to Gibbs, right circle, now to Dauphiné, right wing corner. Dauphiné gets away from the check, carries over to the left wing side. Jeffries all over him, so he kicks it literally up to the line at the left point. Gibbs gets knocked off the play, comes up to the blue line. There's where that pregame soccer comes in handy right there. The Jackets able to hold the zone. Carson Riddle booting it with the left foot. Now it does eventually come out into the neutral zone. Marian will change. Jackets coming right back on the attack. Up the right wing. This is Dauphiné. Leaves it for Brennan. His shot's going to miss wide. Got to recalibrate the sights on that stick, Sam Brennan. Now it comes out to neutral. Lang on the left wing, pulls it off the boards and comes to the middle. Gets around Yarmolnik, and Yarmolnik puts the stick in the skates and takes him down. Delayed penalty call coming on the Yellow Jackets. They're going to get Yarmolnik for a trip, and not a whole lot you can say about that one. Marian's going to go to the power play for the second time. 9:29 of the third period, the time of the penalty. Ishmael and Roosevelt the forwards. Bergstrom and Axel the defense. Can face off controlled by Marian. Pickert left point gets around Roosevelt. Takes the shot that's going to miss high. Bottom on the right wing. Up top at the right point, Pickert. Back to Bottom on the right half board. Off the right post. The shot comes in front. The save is made. Skorpic. Rebound picked up by Roosevelt. His clearing attempt hits Bergstrom. Second try, however, does get out into the neutral zone. Pickert carries into Yellow Jacket territory on the right wing. He drives it deep. It comes around the boards. Flint holds in left point and feeds down low. Two's behind the net. Back up top for Flint. His shot from the left circle blocked by Roosevelt, and that'll be deflected up over the glass and out of play. Shot 6-2 here in the third period with 9:53 remaining. Jackets leading 3-1. All their goals coming in the second period. Politoski over to Brenner at the right point. Back over to Politoski and Brenner. He'll take the shot, save Skorpic. It got through him, but there to pick it up was Ryder. And he'll clear that all the way down the ice. Now Brenner from behind his net starts up the middle with it here. Across the red line. Gives it off for Weeks on the right wing. His pass comes behind the net all the way up to the left point for Politoski. Over to Brenner at the right point. He throws it in on goal. Glove save made by Skorpic, and he'll hold on to that. 42 seconds remaining in the minor penalty to Alexei Yarmolnik. 9:13 to go here in the third. 3-1 Yellow Jackets. Marian definitely in the shoot from everywhere frame of mind right now. Taking shots from all over the place here. Shots now are even at 21-21, so 9-2 here in the third so far. Jackets win the face-off, and they'll clear. Larson carries it into the Marian zone where he mishandles, and back the other way come the Sabres. Cole Carlson across the Yellow Jacket line. Up to the left point for Pickert. He leaves it for Flint left circle. Now up to Bottom. His shot from the right point blocked in front. Bergstrom tried to carry his way out of the zone but couldn't. Now he finally does clear. Puck comes all the way back to neutral ice. Marian gets it to the Jacket line, and then it's going to be hammered all the way down the ice by Danziger. On the right side, center. Battling for possession. In there to help out Larson. It comes up to the blue line. Danziger sends it deep. Yarmolnik out of the penalty box. So we're back to 5 skaters apiece here. With 8.5 to go in the third, Jackets up 3-1. In the neutral zone on the right wing boards, Danziger. His pass intended for Kagawa doesn't go. Marian comes right back the other way in twos, tips it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Jackets will clear. Marcelliti carries back in. He gets flattened with a good check there by Brennan. Gets back up, and the shot taken from the right side misses wide. Now it comes back down behind the Yellow Jacket net. Brennan sends it around the right wing. Paul tried to clear. It doesn't come out. Brennan again, over and out to the left side. Danziger carries it up ice. In the neutral zone. Back the other way now. Puck dumped into Yellow Jacket territory. Danziger on the left side knocks his man Norman off the play. Kagawa digs the puck free, and he'll start back the other direction. Iki Kagawa over to the right wing. Hammers it down to the right corner. Rapal picks it up. He gets bumped on the play. Clearing attempt held in. Yarmolnik in the slot takes the shot. That's tipped wide. Now it comes up to the blue line. Hops over the stick of Yarmolnik there and comes to neutral. Ryder over to the right side for Gibbs. Gibbs across the Marian line. Pokes it to the right corner and gives chase. He'll rip it around the boards to the left side. Ishmael down to the corner. Herbner, he's tied up. Marian back the other direction now. Seminara passes over to Mulder, right wing, a long shot. Stick save made by Skorpic. Rebound to the right corner. Centering pass is going to go right through the goal mouth, and it's picked up here by Herbner, and he'll start it back the other way. Puck broken up at the Marian line. Sabres send it back the other direction, and Marian will be whistled for icing as we're down to 6:34 remaining here in the third period. Jackets up 3-1. Kind of feels like they've taken their foot off the gas a little bit here. Getting outshot pretty handily here in the third, which is not that uncommon, as they have been outshot for the year in the third period by a wide margin. Right now, 10-2 shots on goal in the third period favoring Marian. The puck is behind the Marian net. Herbner with a nice play to maintain possession. Now Ishmael up to the right point for Axel. Back down low behind the goal, Ishmael. Left wing corner, Roosevelt. Now Herbner. Good cycle game here by this Yellow Jacket unit. And then a misread on the play by Ishmael. Marian regains control. Seminara on the left wing to clear. Turned it over. And Ishmael will poke it back down to the right wing corner. Sabres will clear, and that's going to split the D and come all the way down. Icing waved off as we pass the 14-minute mark of this third period. 3-1, the Yellow Jackets leading. Herbner on the right wing. Flips it down into Marian territory. Pickert, pressured by Carson Riddle. Gives it to the left side. Politoski ahead now for Norman. To bottom on the right wing. Brennan poke checks it away from him and flips it back to center. Riddle picks it up. Carson Riddle wanted to drop that for center, but actually put it into his own skates, and Marian will regain control here. Now Riddle gets it back. Riddle in the high slot, takes a shot, tipped in front by Dauphiné, save made by Frummel's. Now a shot by Danziger, right circle, and Frummel's will grab that one as well. And we got a face-off here in the Marian zone. Have you downloaded Swarm Central, the official rewards and loyalty app of the Yellow Jackets? Get started and receive 200 points just for registering, 200 more for downloading the app, and redeem your points for cool prizes in the Swarm Central store. Find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. A lot of stuff in that store. If you need a lanyard, we got it. Need a deck of cards? Got it. Save all your points for a nice blanket? Got it. Shirts, coffee cups. Lots of great items in the Swarm Central store, so get your points. Get your phones out if you're here. Make sure you get your points for being here. .5:21 to go here in the third period. The face-off will be in the Marian zone, to the left of goaltender Tyler Frummel's. 20 saves for him in the hockey game so far. At the other end, 21 for Jan Skorpic. Riddle in to take the face-off for the Yellow Jackets, but it's controlled by Marian. They've been the better team in the circle all night long. At center, Lang up the left wing, one-on-one with Brennan. Brennan blocks that shot from the left circle and then clears it to the corner. He sends that one ahead. Setter clears it to neutral ice. Marian will play it back in. Weeks on the left wing. Gives it to Lang in the circle. He pulls it to the forehand and fires over the top of the net. Sam Brennan up the left wing boards. Now it gets past Dauphiné. Marian regaining control in the high slot. This is Pickert. His pass broken up. It's in the skates of Dauphiné. And the Yellow Jackets able to clear it out to neutral ice. Politoski comes back into the Yellow Jacket zone, left side. He'll poke that one around behind the goal. Yarmolnik to clear. 2 goals for him tonight. His first 2 of the season. Yeah, that's the difference right now as the Jackets are up 3-1. 4.5 to go here in the third. Yarmolnik backhands that up the left wing boards. It's going to come down into the Marian zone. Icing waved off. Luca Marcelliti will pick it up for the Sabres behind his net. Raudio on the left. Bumped there by Yarmolnik. Comes back down on the left wing, and Carlson tips it into the Yellow Jacket zone. Puck is loose behind the net now. This is Dane Tews. Plays it to the front of the Yellow Jacket net. A shot taken there by Cole Carlson, and the save is made by Skorpic. Now the puck worked free. Tews in the left circle. Stripped of the puck there by Kagawa. Brenner was closing on him and actually flinched a little bit, but Kagawa was able to play the puck away. Now the pass ahead on the right wing doesn't connect with Austin Paul. It comes all the way down. The Yellow Jackets are going to be whistled for icing. 3:34 to go here in this third period. Face-off will be to Skorpic's right. Frummel's out of the goal for Marian, so an empty net at the other end for the Yellow Jackets. 6-on-5 right now. Extra attacker on for the Sabres, with 3:33 to play. Behind the Yellow Jacket net, the puck comes to the left wing corner. Ryder in there battling for it. Yarmolnik in there as well. Pizzi has it in his skates. Finally, it's going to be pulled free and wrapped hard up to the right point where Jeffries holds the zone. He'll play it hard back around the boards again. Austin Paul on the right wing chokes up and tries to chip that one out of the zone, but it doesn't go. Now it comes to Bottom at the left point. He takes the shot. It gets blocked with 3 minutes remaining here in the third period. It's a 3-1 lead for the Yellow Jackets. Flint in the right wing corner for Marian. Spins off to check his centering pass blocked. Yarmolnik going for the hat trick. Tried to send that toward the empty net, but it goes off of a defender. No icing on the play. Yellow Jackets will change personnel. Now there's a steal in the left wing corner. Austin Paul throws that right through the goal mouth. On the right wing, Roosevelt's got it. He carries to neutral ice and sends it across. Austin Paul from the neutral zone fires a shot over the top of the net. There's nobody in front of him. I don't understand why you don't just put it in the net. He tries to go top shelf. Meanwhile, Weeks back the other way on the left wing. Gets it across the Yellow Jacket line. Drops it for Pickert. Left circle. Walks. Fires. Save made by Skorpic. Rebound picked up by Bergstrom, and he'll send it ahead on the left wing. Roosevelt. 3-on-1 for the Jackets. Roosevelt gives it to Shea ahead. Now the Jackets getting a little too pretty there, as rather than shoot the puck in the empty net, he tried to feather a backhand pass ahead for Ishmael. Out of his reach, and it ends up in the left corner. Now the puck back into the Yellow Jacket zone, and that one caught Coach McKenna. And we're going to get a stoppage in play, as the Yellow Jacket head coach took that one up high. And he is definitely bleeding over there as trainer Ben Casper steps in. They don't know for sure if he was wearing the glasses tonight or if the contacts were in. But we'll have to check that out, and his modeling career might be over. Marian will call a timeout with 1:45 to play. And this shouldn't even be relevant right now, because twice here in the last 30 seconds, the Yellow Jackets had opportunities to put this thing away with an empty net goal, but instead they try to get cute. You got a 3-on-1 with an empty net. You have an opportunity to shoot. Take the shot, Cade Shea, instead of trying to make that pass to Chris Ishmael. The one prior to that, Austin Paul from the neutral zone had a chance to put it in the empty net and rifles it high. A lot of laughs going on the Yellow Jacket bench right now, so Coach McKenna in good spirits. So to the Squire back at New York, your son's okay. We'll take a peek at him after the game here. 1:45 to go in the third. 3-1 Yellow Jackets face off to the left of Skorpic. It's controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Gibbs wraps that hard around the right side. It gets past Politoski at the left point and comes all the way down. Icing waved off on the play as Pickard circles his net. Drops it off here now for Bottom. Over to Politoski left side, and it tipped into the Yellow Jacket zone by Caden Carlson. Now Ryder's got it for the Yellow Jackets. He sends that all the way down. It'll be wide of the empty net. And with 1:20 to go here in this third period, icing is the call. If I'm being honest, it's amazing that coaches don't get clipped with pucks more. Because there's obviously no glass in front of the bench. They don't wear face masks, and it comes at a high rate of speed into that bench. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. Right wing corner, Yellow Jacket zone right now. The puck tied up along the wall. It comes free behind the net. Ryder picks it up, clears it to the line, but Politoski holds in and takes a long shot that's sticked away by Skorpic. Ryder along the end boards tied up as we enter the final minute of play here in this third period. Jackets leading 3-1. Empty net for Marian now, centering pass in front. The shot blocked. Yarmolnik still on the ice, sniffing out that hat trick. The puck held in by Pickert at the right point. Over to Politoski, a shot. Save made by Skorpic. And it's going to be cleared to neutral ice by Carson Riddle. 35 seconds to play here as the puck is dumped back into Yellow Jacket territory. Crazy hop off the boards in the left corner. Skorpic covers it up. He elected to cover it up even though Marian was offside. And I'm kind of... His teammates were yelling at him to play the puck, play the puck. One of the Marian players did not vacate the zone. He purposely stayed in the zone to draw the stoppage, and they're actually going to bring that face-off all the way back down in the Marian zone, and that's the right call. Basically, what it amounted to was an intentional offside. So the face-off's going to come all the way back into the Marian zone. 27.3 seconds remaining here. Face-off to the left of Frummel's now, who's back in the net. Face-off controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Shea right wing corner, leaves it behind the net looking for Ishmael, but that one's picked. Now Ishmael gets it back, 20 seconds to go. Gives behind the net. Brenner gets there. Passes it up for Cole Carlson on the right wing, and that's going to clear. Jackets dump it back in. Marian comes back out with it here. Raudio up the left wing. Frummel's heads to the bench. Cole Carlson, left corner, throws it in on net. Save is made by Skorpic. And the horn sounds, bringing period number 3 to a close. Marian carried the play for the bulk of the third period. But at the end of the day, the Yellow Jackets did everything they needed to do. Final score here tonight, Jackets defeat Marian 3-1. We'll take a timeout and come back with our post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery. This is Yellow Jacket Hockey on 91.3 KUWS Superior and Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back at Westman Arena. It's the postgame show sponsored by Synovus Energy and the Superior Refinery. And it comes following a 3-1 win for the Yellow Jackets over Marian tonight. Yellow Jackets completing the season sweep of the Sabres with this victory and also extend their winning streak to 6 games. Obviously, that more important as non-conference play wraps up and the Jackets head to WIAC action from here on out. I'm watching head coach Clay Van Diest from Marian just giving an earful to the officials since this game ended. I'm not exactly sure what he's getting at, but at any rate, our special guest Brian Meisner has come up to the press box as he always does for the postgame, following a Yellow Jacket home game and another victory here tonight. But first and foremost, is Coach alive?
He's alive.
Uh-oh.
Am I on? Testing 1, 2, 3.
You got him? Okay.
Yes, he is alive.
He's alive.
He's alive.
Okay,
But
so
that was not good, John.
not good?
That was not good. That was like you could hear it slap.
Okay.
So he was bleeding from here and from in here. He's on his way to the hospital.
Okay. I'm still not hearing him. I'm not getting levels here. No, that's the PA. It's this one right here, but for some reason when he's talking into it. Yeah, you're hearing him out. Do you know what? Let's use that.
Sounds good.
Improvise, man. Oh.
You're not on?
Now it's working.
Oh, thank you. I don't want to mess up my hair.
I know, that's good. You got good hair too. But at any rate, so
Okay, so I'll say that again.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Coach got hit square. Bridge of his nose definitely broken. Bleeding from the bridge of his nose and from inside his nose. Kaylee, our doctor's like, he's got to go. So Rich didn't leave.
No, he didn't. I saw that.
And he was yelling like this. Just kidding. No. So he was yelling at the guys. I feel terrible. It's awful, but it's still a little funny.
It's still a little funny, man.
But he's going to be okay.
Okay, good. So, I jokingly, I looked down, I saw some smiles on the bench. So,
we were just like, oh, I'm glad that wasn't me.
At the same time, it kind of had the, the modeling career is over.
Exactly,
you can make the jokes about those sort of things.
I just said it was an improvement.
So, anyway, listen, back in Greenwood Lake, New York, mom and Pop are tuned in tonight. Dad sent me a message.
Yeah.
Mom is worried, but
he's okay.
Everything is okay. Well, he'll get that nose
They breed him
fixed.
tough in New York, as we know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So everything going to be okay there. But at any rate, a 3-1 win here tonight. And coming not a great first period, dynamite second period. Then I felt like he took the foot off the gas in the third.
Yeah, you got to give our kids a lot of credit. It's a long, week we had. And we played a lot of tough games. And we had adversity almost every game. And so I think they were just
tired. Yep.
I mean, we have some sick guys too. I'm not making excuses, but that's just where we're at. And I thought guys fought through that. And even Coach said at the timeout, I'm not worried about the shots. I'm worried about the win. That's kind of what we focused on. And, I'm really, really, really proud of them. I really am. It's a big 4 games for us.
No, it absolutely is. And it's 4 games in 8 days.
Exactly.
Basically. So, you go back to last Wednesday, then on the weekend, and now this Wednesday. All 4 of those games end up being wins. All 4 of those games decided by 2 goals or less.
Exactly.
So you've got it's not like any of these were a blowout where you could cruise a little bit and all of that. Every one of these was a pretty hard fought game.
Yeah, and Marian came out, I thought, great in the first period.
They did. I thought they had a real good first period.
We were not ourselves. We were trying to find our game. That goal that Axe scored was huge, obviously. I thought he played fantastic tonight. I thought Dusty Bergstrom was maybe the best game I've seen him in a long time. I just thought he was fantastic. I mean, Danzy's fighting a cold, wasn't at practice. So, I knew he was kind of limited with his gas, So I thought Sammy Brennan was awesome. I'm just talking about the D here. Up front, you probably see more than I do, but I was really, really proud of our guys. Really proud.
I talked about it in the pregame a little bit with Coach. Talk about Dusty.
Yeah.
Because even by his own admission, he wasn't as good last year as he was the year before.
Yeah.
He's back to playing like he did as a sophomore. He's having a really nice senior year.
100%. And he's, we've been talking about it, because he's obviously production isn't where it was 2 years ago. And, sometimes that can affect you. And I'm proud of him. He's kind of like, I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I'm just going to go. And I think he's been playing fantastic. The way he's breaking pucks out, the way he's skating, the way he's blocking shots. He's doing everything.
Right.
He's fantastic.
Flip side, He's a senior. Freshman Jordan Gibbs, he gets better every game.
I know.
Talk to me about him.
One of the best kids I've ever been around. Wants to get better. Hard on himself, but not over hard, if that makes sense. Because, there's some guys that are hard on themselves. Like I was a player, and it'd take me off my game. He's just hard on himself, and then he's on to the next shift. And that's a huge credit for a young kid, I think. Smart. Like you see the plays he makes. Look at that game-winning goal against Concordia. I mean, that was him going back to get a puck, skating, moving up to Setzi, goal. And Setzi made a great play, too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And then the game winner against St. John's.
And that was a big-time play.
That was a huge play.
Yep.
So those 2 game winners, Jordan Gibbs.
He created those with his legs.
Yeah. And, he's getting more ice time because of it, too. And he probably should get more. But, we had 4 games in 7 days or whatever. So, but yeah, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's got a great shot too, and I think we haven't seen that in a little while too. No, he's got the complete game.
The coach and you a little bit peeved at the end though when you have a chance to put this thing away, and you guys decide no, we're gonna play a video game here instead and try to do some things that don't win games. Exactly.
And I don't know if they're trying to be too unselfish or what, but let's just finish the game. I mean, this whole second half here, since we came back from Christmas, we've talked about being simple, being a better hockey team and a simpler hockey team, and that's a simple play. You got. I remember Bob Gainey said, if you have a 2-on-1 and you shoot the puck, that is not a selfish play. It's more selfish to pass the puck because bad things can happen, right? I've always thought, So you try and pass, guess what? Then you don't get even a shot on net, an open net.
Right.
If he just shoots it, we get a goal.
Yep.
Game over.
Yep. Yeah. So now off for over a week. Clearly coming at a good time. One to rest the guys, two to try to heal some guys, get some guys healthy and everything, because even if you guys haven't had your actual lineup for a single game this year.
That's true, yeah.
And you've got, pretty depleted up front, a lot of injuries and illness there. So this comes at a very good time.
Yeah.
Non-conference play is done now. 8 games to go regular season. The WIAC stretch run is here. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's kind of been our goal, our focus. These 4 games were huge. This is our, basically resetting after the Christmas break. We think that we've gotten better every game. That second period was fantastic. Third period was okay. We finished the game, so I'm really proud. And then now, like you said, get a little bit of a break here. Conference play is now we got to keep playing the way we are and even get better, obviously, because we're going to be against faster, bigger teams. No offense to anybody we've played, but that's just the WIAC. It's fantastic. So, I think for us is to continue to harp on being simple, continue to work on our D zone. And, I didn't like giving up how many shots we gave up in the third there, but Marian pressed really hard, and we didn't really answer it too well. But I think before that, look at St. John's, look at the Concordia. Our D zone has gotten, to me, 10 times better than the beginning of the year. And I think that's where we're going to win. And, the playoffs, I'd love it to be all offense, and that's you're going to win a championship. That's just not how it works.
Right.
So if you can shut down good teams, you got a chance. And I think with our goaltending, Jan was great again tonight. And, we need those guys. And so I think that's where our focus is. Keep it simple. D-zone, work from our net out. And we have the offensive guys that can score.
Sure.
We have a lot, like you said, get those guys back. Rupe's going to be out for a while. But get Petey back hopefully pretty soon. I mean, I like our lineup. We got a lot of guys that can play. Yeah, so.
Well, 6 in a row.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I love it.
So let's take a little break here, get guys healthy, and get back at it for number 7.
Sounds good.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thanks,
Good seeing you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. It's Yellow Jacket assistant coach Brian